Kingdom, we attack the GOAT debate head on, where we challenge all Michael Jordan fans and all LeBron detractors to who is the GOAT of basketball. You can catch us every Sunday noon Eastern Time, right here on the GOAT James Kingdom channel, for the GOAT James Kingdom show with B. Lee and A. Johnny. Also, we go live Friday nights with the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer, where you catch special shows and content as a GOAT James Kingdom follower and subscriber. Also, check out the GOAT James Kingdom membership, where you can get exclusive content.
Peace and blessings, y'all. Welcome to the GOAT James Kingdom show with B. Lee and A. Johnny. As y'all know, we go live every Sunday noon Eastern Time for the GJK show right here on the GOAT James Kingdom platform. Y'all already know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share our content. Also, don't be afraid to comment, because all of you are safe in the comments. But we're here again with another great Sunday afternoon, as we will be discussing if the GOAT of basketball should retire. Should LeBron James just go ahead, give it up, and say that's it, the career is over, I've done everything I could, I no longer want to give it my all, I want to enjoy the rest of my life. So we're here with our normal panel as usual, and we got some spammers in the comment. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, you look frozen. What's good, Brandon? What's good, brother?
Hey, what's good, everybody?
All right, we got our normal panelists here as well. Travis, Craig, and John. What's good, brothers?
Yo.
Yeah, man. We got some spammers. Brandon, if you guys take a look in the comments, we got moderators out here. You see these guys spamming. We got all the LeBron haters spamming now. They're doing stuff like putting
Spamming already. Crazy.
Yeah, already, man. They're already spamming. So if y'all are moderating in the chat, please make sure you take care of these spammers. But allow everybody else to be safe in the comments, as we are going to enjoy another great Sunday afternoon here on GOAT James Kingdom. You guys know what we do best. So make sure you go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, check out the GOAT James Kingdom membership. But we're here again, Brandon. So, Brandon, man, the Lakers lost. It's another great season for the GOAT, but short playoffs, obviously, first round exit. So is that it? Should LeBron retire? Should we call it a quits for LeBron? Should he say that's it, man, I'm done?
I don't know, because the way he went out, it seems like he didn't have it like he used to. And, being so great for so long and knowing that things did not go the way you could, like the way it's planned, because just think about it, like young LeBron, like not even young LeBron in year 15 or 16, he would have destroyed the Wolves. You can see Julius Randle just driving to the hole, scoring at will, and LeBron James shooting jumpers in the second half because he just couldn't get to the hole. He just didn't have it. So it was hard for him to probably be on the court knowing that he couldn't do what he needed to do to win. So I think I always say, like, that's the only way LeBron will leave the game, if he know he cannot affect the game like he used to, even at a minimum level. And the last, 3 games that they should have won, he was basically non-existent in the fourth quarter. It's a lot to do to him being tired. I know Darvin Ham tried to cut his minutes so he could be fresh during those times. I don't think LeBron James should ever play over 32 minutes a game. Like, LeBron James will average over 25 and 32 minutes a game. That's how great he is. But the more that he plays 38 plus minutes, his points, his production is just going to go down. And I know he tried to make it up playing hard on defense because he couldn't do what he wanted to do. So uh, I think he may consider retiring, even though I believe, like I said at the beginning when he got traded, Luka got traded. Next year will be their year when they have a trading cap. LeBron James is able to do whatever he needs to be done to make sure they're successful. I know losing Anthony Davis was not going to make the team better. I said that when it started. Like they're better with Anthony Davis on the team than trading for Luka. That's why I didn't understand why they trade him because they were rolling with Anthony Davis. I know you were saying that their defense was going to get better, and I pointed out that they needed Anthony Davis to actually clean up a lot of their mistakes, and that's what he did for 5 years. Clean up a lot of mistakes by players who couldn't play defense, and we saw game in and game out, Luka and Reeves not being able to guard
The war is not over.
and no one able to clean up their messes. Like LeBron said himself, they don't have Anthony Davis there to clean up what is
Blah,
needed.
blah, 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 blah.
They don't have him there to clean up what was needed. Like I've been saying, as soon as he got traded, individual defense, this nonsense that's been going on about some individual defense. You have to play better team defense. Everyone plays team defense. It's just how you play harder. You just got to play harder. That's all. Play harder.
Of course. Great strategy, Brandon. Great strategy. Play hard, guys. Go
They jumped
hard.
me yesterday. Johnny, they
Play
jumped
hard.
me yesterday on the radar. They jumped me yesterday on the radar talking about team.
Yeah.
You know what?
They jumped me yesterday.
That's fine.
Do you know what's so funny? LeBron James says the same goddamn thing.
No, he didn't.
LeBron James says the same thing.
Almost did.
You gotta
He wanted
play
to
harder.
trade it. He almost said it.
You gotta
He
play
didn't say
harder.
that. He
You gotta
didn't say
play
that.
harder.
No, it's
He
not.
didn't say
They
it.
lost. They lost because their offense. They all said the same thing. They offensively lost. That defense was not why they lost. So keep crying about Austin Reeves and Lucas' defense when they
Defense is
lost
the
because
reason
of their
they started.
offense.
But
No.
I'm gonna play
Their
this other
defense
clip.
was better without Anthony
Yeah,
Davis.
it's exciting, man, because I wasn't sure you lose AD, right? Like he's an anchor stone to any defense.
He's so
right?
damn good.
And as good as
Losing Anthony Davis, who's a defensive player of the year candidate every year, it was either one or two things for us when we lost him. It's either be the worst defensive team in the league,
right.
or now it's like, oh shit, we don't have AD to cover our asses.
Sure.
Okay, we got to play even
They
harder now,
fucking
and we got to cover for one another because we can't rely on a blow by
Play harder,
every
like
time,
LeBron
and then I
James
have a low
said.
man, and then AD comes out
Play
of nowhere
harder.
and blocks a shot.
Right.
We have to be
Block
on the string.
shot.
I
You
ain't
gotta
know
be
which
on
one of
the
y'all
string.
did
Like
that.
We have to be
Just like the
on
GOAT
a
said.
string. We have to
Just
be
like
on a
the
string.
GOAT
We
said.
have to
You gotta
cover for
play
one
harder.
another. Exactly.
All this
They played
nonsense.
better defense, not because
You
they
gotta
played
play
harder,
harder.
because they played better team defense. That's what he said.
So
We played on
somehow-
the string and we
Somehow,
covered
me and
one another.
LeBron James and JJ Redick are on the same page, but Johnny doesn't know what he's talking about, and you got to play
You
better
don't know
team
what you're
defense,
talking
right?
about.
Right.
You cut
Oh
it
yeah,
off.
yeah, John, you too,
cut
John,
it
you
out.
too. I'm sorry, John, you too.
No, you cut
Yeah,
it off.
that's why
You
they.
cut him off saying
if
us
they had-
playing on a
if
string.
they
You didn't
had-
say that. Why weren't they playing on a string with Anthony Davis?
If they
Why were
had
they?
Anthony
Why were they not
Davis,
covering one another with
they
Anthony
would've
Davis?
swept
Why was that?
the Minnesota
Why was that?
Timberwolves.
Why was that?
They would have
Why was that?
swept the Timberwolves.
Man, it
Anthony
wouldn't,
Davis,
it wouldn't even have
they
been
would
the
have
third
swept.
seed with Anthony Davis.
They
It wouldn't
would've
even have been the
swept them.
third seed. There would have been another
Swept.
play-in team. That's
They would
factual.
have swept them.
They would have
would've
swept
swept.
nothing. You can say that now,
Swept.
just like
It would
all
have been a
other,
clean sweep.
all other
Would've
loser
been a
Laker
clean
fans
sweep.
who always complain about what they would have did, but
There
can't
would've
explain
been
about
no
what
fourth
actually
quarter.
happened.
There would have been no fourth quarter mistakes because Anthony Davis would have destroyed them in the paint.
The fourth quarter mistakes was on
Anthony
offense. Anthony Davis
destroyed-
can't score.
Anthony Davis
Anthony Davis
destroyed
has to
Rudy
score.
Gobert
Why don't
all
you
the
go
time.
LeBron James
Destroyed
saying
Rudy Gobert all the
no,
time.
listen.
It would not even
why
been a question.
Rudy Gobert has nothing
Rudy
to do with
Gobert
that. Rudy
probably
Gobert
wouldn't
had
even been on
one
the court.
good game. Go ahead, get it out your chest, brother. Go ahead, get it out your
He
chest.
probably wouldn't even been on the court. Anthony Davis destroys Rudy Gobert. Come on. If you having Rudy Gobert destroy you, Anthony Davis destroyed. Come on, it's not even a question. The Timberwolves would have got swept. They would have got swept if Anthony Davis was on the team. But you know, he's not. He was hurt. He couldn't even have been in this series. But if Anthony Davis was healthy, the Lakers would have probably won the title because they needed that big man to clean up all their mistakes, like LeBron James says. And now they just have to play harder. And when they can't play hard, they lose in the fourth quarter because they just let Anthony Edwards walk to the hole at will. Jaden Daniels, who has never destroyed anybody in an NBA game, is just playing with the Lakers. Jaden McDaniels, come on now. Just destroying the Lakers. Destroying them out there. And Rudy Gobert, yes, he looked like Wilt Chamberlain out there. And you over here talking about some better team defense. How can you play? I mean, the Timberwolves tried to lose the game on purpose to win at home. They missed every shot that they put up. They was trying to lose. But Rudy Gobert wasn't letting it happen. He's just grabbing the rebound and just dunking on the Lakers. Grabbing the rebound. He wouldn't even been on the court with Anthony Davis. He would have been in foul trouble. It is just comical how you were saying team defense. And I was just laughing the whole time. Like, what are you talking about? LeBron James told you how important Anthony Davis is. He told you how important Anthony Davis is. He is the cleanup guy. He cleaned up all their messes. You really expect Anthony Davis to go out there and guard everybody when no one else on the team to guard anybody. Talking about individual defense. That's why he's all defensive team. That's why he's the best defensive player in the league. Anthony Davis was the reason why they had decent defense. Simple as that. And before Anthony Davis left on the team, he was destroying when they finally had their full team. When they finally had everybody together. Finney, they had Vando back. Anthony Davis was scoring what? He had 40 in a 20 game versus Boston. Destroyed Boston. Come on now. We all know you could be you watched that series. You can sit back and say, man, I bet you miss Anthony Davis on that team now because you got Luka, who can't guard a soul, who don't even pass the ball. All he want to do is shoot step back threes. How you have a game and you a point guard, you have 40 points and 2 assists because that's how he plays. He's not a team player. We could clearly see that. LeBron James needed to run that point so they could win. LeBron James didn't have it. And that's why they lost, because he has to do too much on the defensive end. He tried to be Anthony Davis. He played great defensively. I'm not going to knock LeBron James for how well he played defensively, but he tried to pick up the slack. He tried to be Anthony Davis, and he ran out of gas, and he couldn't even lift up a shot to shoot a three-pointer. He kept passing the ball because he was exhausted. Simple as that. You were wrong, buddy. You were wrong. You too, John. You was wrong.
With all of that nonsense, that the zestiness that exists in Brandon came out of him. Again, the Lakers defense was ranked 10th at the end of the NBA season. That is better than when they were with Anthony Davis, they were 20th with Anthony Davis when he was on the roster. So at the end of the day, the Lakers defense, I let you speak, brother. If you got more to say, go ahead. Go ahead.
What is zesty about what me and LeBron James said? Explain. I'm curious.
As I continue, your zestiness is continuing to argue when you're wrong. That's where your zestiness is at. Because again, the Lakers did not lose this series. You are being zesty because you still want to argue about an argument that I've been proved right. I've been proved this right.
Right. You've been wrong the whole time.
No, I'm not wrong. You're
LeBron
bringing
James
up. No, LeBron James did it. Look, go bring up LeBron James saying how Anthony Davis was begging for help and he got traded. Go bring up LeBron James saying how Anthony Davis needed the offense to be catered to him, how they had to stretch things out to help Anthony Davis do things on offense, and it kind of hurt them offensively. You don't want to bring that up, though. You want to bring up little snippets. You want to bring up little snippets of him saying how, as a team, we're playing better defense because now we have to for one another because Anthony Davis is on the floor not doing anything, and we can sit around and just do nothing defensively. And at the end of the day, when Anthony Davis was on the floor, the Lakers did not have a good defensive team. They had one of the worst defenses in basketball. When Anthony Davis left, the Lakers had a top 10 plus. They were 8th in defense as soon as Anthony Davis left to the end of the season. That's not even counting the 2 weeks that they had with Luka Doncic. If you want to go to when they had Luka Doncic, the same shit. They were 8th in defense from the time that Luka Doncic started with the Lakers and ended the season with the Lakers. They've never done that with Anthony Davis as their anchor. They have not lost this series because of their defense. You just proved it. That team was shooting horribly. They were playing good defense versus Minnesota. They could not score versus Minnesota in the fourth quarter. They got outscored in the fourth quarter in this series by over 50 points, not because their defense sucks, because their offense sucks. They were not able to put up the points necessary to win game 3, 4, and 5 in the fourth quarter. They played solid defense throughout the series. They did not play bad defense. Their defense was not their problem. It was their offense. No one who averages 100 points in a playoff series will win that series. And that's why the Lakers lost. So continue to live in Laker fandom misery where you blame everybody else and make hypothetical scenarios of what somebody could have did, would have did, should have did, and didn't do. And in reality, the Lakers were a better team without Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis did not do anything when he left the Lakers. He didn't do anything before the Lakers. At the end of the day, the only thing Anthony Davis has to hang his hat on is being a sidekick to LeBron James. And that's why the Lakers lost, because they didn't have an offensive guy that could help LeBron James win championships. They had a guy who could sit around here and stand at a basket and block shots. That's it. Rudy Gobert went off one game. He was averaging 3 points per game, and they were up 3-1. Rudy Gobert had nothing to do with why the Lakers lost this series. And Anthony Davis had nothing to do to help the Lakers win 50 games and be a top 3 seed in the NBA this year. He could not help them do that. When he was on the roster, they were 7 seed, 6 seed, struggling, still being a play-in team, having one of the worst defenses in basketball. That's facts, ladies and gentlemen. That's not my conjecture. That's not me going out of nowhere, bringing up some bullshit. I have it with film. I have it with even coaches talking. Even J.J. Redick said the same thing about it. We play better defense now because we can communicate better. We can all help one another. We can all rotate. There is no need to sit around here and just let one guy do what he does best and let him get the praise while we still have a horrible defense. Stop talking about Luka and Austin Reeves' defense when you're not going to win a championship predicated on that, nor did I ever say that. But at the end of the day, until you guys can prove to me that the Lakers' defense did not improve without Anthony Davis, without some silly nonsense about being a great rim protector and some silly nonsense about how Austin Reeves and Luka can't guard, then you're just a zesty Jeffrey mad because you want to say LeBron James failed with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis didn't do shit. The man got, matter of fact, you're talking about all defense selections. He got less all defense selections than LeBron James. And from any zesty Jeffrey logic, that means he ain't a great defender. So don't bring this shit up about Anthony Davis being a great defender. I don't give a fuck how many block shots you had. Mark Kessler was second in the NBA in blocking. Does that make him a great block shot defender? Y'all ain't gonna say shit. Don't bring me nothing about Anthony Davis so you can bring me a team that he anchored that was a top 10 defense. You can't. He didn't do it. Even yesterday on Live with Lamont, I proved all y'all wrong, and I can even show it to you that Anthony Davis is not a solid defensive anchor in today's NBA. And that's why the Lakers lost, because they needed to have better offense, not because they didn't have Anthony fucking Davis, who needs fucking Austin Reeves and LeBron to even fucking score, let alone be effective on the defensive side of the ball. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. The Lakers lost because of their offense. And J.J. Redick panicked versus a team that he thought was just more athletic than his team. It was just bullshit. He just panicked. He should have did his
Anthony Davis. They didn't have Anthony Davis. Why? Anthony Davis would
have. They wouldn't have been at Anthony Davis. They would have been out the playoffs. They would have been out the
defensively.
Well, get out of here.
And defensively. Anthony Davis would have destroyed the Wolves like he always did. Like he always
They wouldn't have been playing the Wolves. They would have been at the 8th seed. They would have got blown out. What are you talking about? They would have been a playing team.
As soon as they got their team together.
You have no evidence of Anthony Davis and LeBron James making them a third seed.
You're talking about before they had their team together, when they earlier in the season. Everybody was hurt. That's what you're hanging your hat on.
That's what I'm hanging. You're hanging your hat on DFS. You didn't know they were going to trade for DFS.
All their defenders. And they brought in
what defender? The defender that they didn't even play? They didn't even play Vando. They didn't even play Vando. What are you talking? They didn't even play Vando. He wasn't hurt. Vando wasn't hurt.
At the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the year, he was hurt.
Where was Vando versus McDaniels? Where was Vando versus Anthony Edwards? You bringing about where Vando? This is what I'm saying. Anthony Edwards needs help. No, that's why he's a scorer. Yes,
That's what you talk
there's
about in the
no
regular
such thing
season.
as no
That's all
such
you're
thing as a
talking about the
defensive
regular
anchor
season.
needing
That's
help.
all you talk
The
about in the
defensive
regular
anchor
season.
is the help. You don't help a defensive anchor.
When
Defensive
Anthony
anchor
Davis,
helps
before
you.
Anthony Davis
Get out
left,
of here.
there was like literally a game or two out of the second place. So I don't even know what you're talking about that they were
No,
going to be
they're
in the
not.
play-in.
They went on an
Soon as
8-game
they get
winning
their
streak when he
defenders,
left.
soon
They
as
went on an
they get
8-game
their
streak when he
defenders
left, and
on
that's how they got
team,
up there. They were
they
nowhere
had
near the
Max
seats.
Christie,
Lying.
they had Max
Stop
Christie,
lying.
they had Anthony Davis, they had Vando, they had Finney. Then they won like 4 straight games, blowing everybody asses out of the game, and then they traded
He said
Anthony
4
Davis.
straight. He said 4 straight
So
games. He said 4 straight
yeah,
games.
they was winning 4 straight games when they got their team set. They got all their defenders that they needed,
four
and they
straight
had
games.
their team set. And LeBron James and everyone had the perfect role to win this title. Then when they got Luka, I told you, LeBron just said it. Their defense was going to take a hit. They don't have that defensive style. That's like saying
That
Steve
defense
Kerr
didn't
is
take a
better than
hit.
Steve
The
Kerr is
defense
better than
didn't
Michael
take a
Jordan
hit.
because Steve Kerr is a better team offensive player because he goes around and set screens. No, we need that dog
What?
to score those 30. We need
What
that
you're
individual
talking
player. We need that individual
about.
35
What you're
points per
talking
game
about.
to win these titles. We don't need players to set screens like Steve Kerr. That's what you're talking about. Some team defenders.
Yeah.
Like Anthony Davis made sure everybody was ready
Yeah, we don't.
when they was ready to win that
Their
title.
defense was
When
better.
they was about
Their
to
defense
blow
was
everybody
better.
off the
Their
court.
defensive
They
rating
would
was
have probably
better.
got the
Their
second seed.
defensive
They would
field
have
goal
probably got the
percentage was
second
better.
seed.
Their
They probably
points
got
per
the
game
second
were
seed.
better. And
They
every
probably got
aspect
the
of the
second
game,
seed.
they were better defensively. Those are facts.
Yeah,
They were all better.
because
You're
you're
predicating again.
including
That's you
earlier in
wonder
the
why I
season
told
when
you,
everybody was hurt.
Jesse. You're
You're
predicating
including
from
earlier in
one
the season
quote
when
and
everybody
this
was hurt.
interpret quote,
That's
and
all.
then
That's
wonder
all.
why I called you as SD Jeffrey. Yeah.
LeBron
The Lakers were
James.
24.
LeBron James is
The
a zesty
Lakers were
Jeffrey. Yes.
24
LeBron
and
James
18.
is a
The
zesty
Lakers were
Jeffrey because he
24.
said Anthony Davis
No,
was going
you're
to get up
logic of
on
it.
him. Yeah, LeBron
No,
James
that's
is a
right. No,
zesty
no,
Jeffrey
nobody said
because he
that.
doesn't agree with
Nobody
you.
ever said that.
He doesn't agree with you.
He said that.
LeBron
No,
James
I
doesn't
never
agree with
said
you, so
Anthony
he's a
Davis
zesty
wasn't
Jeffrey.
a cleanup guy. I never said that. I never said Anthony Davis wasn't a cleanup guy. I never said
You
Anthony Davis
gotta
doesn't
play
protect the
hard.
rim. I
So
never said
Anthony
that.
Davis,
I
so
never said
LeBron
that.
James is a zesty Jeffrey because he doesn't agree with you.
No, you
Who
got
don't
to
agree
play as
with
a
you is a
defense.
zesty Jeffrey.
You got to play
Who
as
doesn't
no.
agree with
We
you
got to
is
play on a
zesty Jeffrey.
string. We have to cover for one
You gotta
another.
play harder.
That's what he
He
said,
clearly said
and
you gotta
that's
play
what I
harder.
said, and
Clearly
that's what I
said
said.
you gotta
That's
play
what I
harder.
said.
That's not what you're saying.
That's
That's
not what they said. That's
It's
not
okay.
play harder. We
I
have to
don't
play
know who you
smarter.
agreeing with, but
Not
it's not
harder. We have
LeBron
to play
James.
smarter. It is with LeBron
That's
James.
what
He
LeBron
said we
James
got to
said.
play a
That's what LeBron
string.
said.
We got to
He said you
cover
gotta
for
play
one
harder.
another.
He said you gotta
Yeah.
play harder.
You don't agree with
And
LeBron
he said you
James
gotta
when he
play
said
harder.
that Anthony
That's
Davis
clearly what
needed
LeBron
us
said.
to cater the offense to him,
You
that
got
we
to
have to
play
cater the
harder.
offense to him, that we have to make efforts to get him involved, that we have to basically push him to motivate him for him to feel like he's a part of the game because we have to go to him on offense. He can't find a way to
You are
get the
so
offensive
upset
rebounds.
with what
No, I'm
LeBron
not.
James said, and you're
No, I'm
calling me
not.
a zesty Jeffrey because of what LeBron James said. Do
I'm
you
calling
know
you
how
a
hilarious
Jeffrey
that is?
because you misinterpret what
I don't
LeBron
agree
said.
with your
Because you
logic.
misinterpret what LeBron said. You do exactly what
Okay,
King
okay.
Schro did yesterday. You do what Willie's doing right now. And again, like I told you,
Let's play it one more
go
time.
in
Let's
the
play it one more
comments.
time. People
All
might
the zesty
Yeah,
Jeffrey,
it's exciting, man, because I wasn't sure you lose AD, right? Like he's an anchor stone in
they
any
all
defense,
He's so
agree
right?
with
damn
you.
good.
And as good
They
as
all
Losing
agree
Anthony
with you.
Davis, who's a
They all
defensive player of the
agree
year
with you.
candidate every year.
They all agree with
you
you.
don't want to play
They
it.
all
You don't
agree
want
with
to
you.
play it.
They all
You
agree with
scared.
you. They all
You
agree with you.
scared. You
I'm
scared.
not
You
scared
don't want to play
because
it.
we heard what he
You
said.
scared.
You heard what he said.
You
You won't play that. You
scared.
won't
I
play
don't
him.
want to play it.
You won't
I
play
don't
him
want to
saying the
play it.
truth.
You
Exactly.
scared.
It's
You
not scared.
scared.
Basketball. Go ask
Scared.
basketball.
Like,
Wait,
who's
go ask
acting
ChatGPT if
like
playing
acting
hard is all he
now?
has to do to play good defense. Go ahead and
Acting a
ask
little
that.
nasty right
Go
now,
ask that.
Johnny.
Go ask that. Go ask that. Go ask that. Ask
See some sense in
ChatGPT
you right now,
if
Johnny.
playing hard is all you have to do to play defense. No, go bring that up. Because you said that playing hard is all you got to do. You think LeBron James says all I did was play harder to play better
Man,
defense? Come on, tell us.
you know what? I can't
Exactly.
believe you stopped that because you're scared. Wow.
No, I stopped that because you cut me off from speaking.
You got
I don't do that to
shook.
people. I don't stop. I didn't get shook.
You keep lying.
You
You
got
keep
shook.
lying. So I was going to play it for you. I was going to
Play
play
it
it for you
again.
because you keep lying.
Play and watch what LeBron says at the end, ladies and gentlemen. Watch what he says. Go ahead, play it.
yeah, it's exciting, man, because because I wasn't sure you lose AD, right? Like he's an anchor stone to any defense.
He's
right?
so damn good.
And as good as
Losing Anthony Davis, who's a defensive player of the year candidate every year, it was either one or two things for us when we lost him. It's either be the worst defensive team in the league, or now it's like, oh shit, we don't have AD to cover our asses.
Sure.
Okay, we got to play even harder now, and we got to cover for.
Oh, you got to play harder now.
That's what he said. This how you cut it off? That's fine. Go ahead. Glow. And when it's my turn, I'm gonna cook you like I just did 5 minutes ago. Go ahead, brother. Because I'm the exposer. I can expose you just like I expose everybody else. Because I didn't lie. I'm not exposed. You're using a LeBron quote. I'm using stats and accolades. You're using LeBron quotes.
You've been exposed by LeBron James.
Go ahead. No, I'm not.
Wow.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You've been exposed. You've been exposed. Go ahead and hit that. You've been exposed button on your keyboard. Go ahead and hit it.
I'm gonna hit nothing. I'm gonna wait till it's my turn to speak. I'm gonna wait till it's my turn. I'm gonna wait till it's my turn. That's all. I'm gonna wait till it's my turn.
Everybody saw it. Everybody saw it. You've been exposed by LeBron.
I'm gonna wait till it's my turn.
Thank you, GOAT James.
Why'd you cut it off? Why'd you cut it off?
It's exciting, man, because I wasn't sure you lose AD, right? Like, he's an anchor stone to any defense.
He's so damn good.
And as good as
losing Anthony Davis, who's a defensive player of the year candidate every year, it was either one or two things for us when we lost him. It's either be the worst defensive team in the league, or now it's like, oh shit, we don't have AD to cover our asses.
Sure.
Okay, we got to play even harder now, and we got to cover.
No, why you cut it off? Why you cut it off, Brandon? See, at the end of that, LeBron says that we have to start covering each other, and we have to start playing on a string, which means you have to play better team defense, which is what the Lakers eventually did. Why they didn't play that with Anthony Davis is the question that we all need to ask, and why no one wants to answer, including Mr. Brandon here today. He's not going to answer why the Lakers couldn't defense great with Anthony Davis, but without him, they did. So let's continue to talk about how the Lakers, not what I said, not what Brandon said, not what LeBron said, but what the stats say is how the Lakers team defense got better across the board without Anthony Davis. Plain and simple. That is my case. That's always been my case. You guys have not proved me wrong. The Lakers losing to the Minnesota Timberwolves did not prove me wrong because it wasn't their defense that cost them this series. It was their offense that cost them this series. And at the end of the day, y'all have not proved me wrong otherwise. You can't show me a team that won a playoff series averaging 100 points per game. You can't show me anything that says that the Lakers defense actually decreased or got worse. They actually were 24-18 when Anthony Davis got hurt before he got traded away. So they were not in any fashion or form a team that was out here doing anything great. They had the 20th ranked defense when Anthony Davis got hurt and before he got traded, and they got better without him. Those are all facts. That's not me using anybody's words. Brandon could use one line of LeBron James talking about us playing harder on defense because now they are responsible for more things. They got to play as a team now because now we wasn't playing as a team. It was individual basketball. Anthony Davis is doing his thing. I'm standing here blocking shots. You guys need to stay out there and do your thing. And that's why they sucked on defense. That's why they were mediocre across the board. And they were in the play-in with Anthony Davis. As soon as they got rid of him, they go on a winning streak. They put themselves in the third spot. They ended the season on a good streak as well. People don't remember. He brought up a 4-game winning streak with Anthony Davis before he got hurt. That's what he wants to bring.
When they had their team together, when they had their whole team together. That's what I'm saying.
No, they didn't. Vando wasn't there. Vando didn't show up till February, so you're lying. Say
He was there. He played with Anthony Davis. He played with Anthony Davis. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. You're right. And the Lakers won games because of that, right? You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
They won that game.
All I know is AD. I've never seen the Lakers lose to a lower seed with AD on the roster. That's all I'm saying.
They were never in the higher seed.
Playoff, but they never lost as a higher seed with AD on the roster.
When were they the higher seed with? When were they the higher seed with Anthony Davis?
The whole 2020.
No. So that's what I got to go back 5 years ago, right? When the Lakers had the best team in the league. That's when y'all want to go 5 years ago when the Lakers had the best roster in the league. Y'all not talking about. It's like no, yeah, you're lying.
I'm lying.
Yes, because
you're said was a factual statement. Actually, he said a factual statement.
Applying that to Anthony Davis. Conversation is Anthony Davis. Where has it been Anthony Davis?
They won as a lower seed with Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis. Yep.
Yes, you can say that. Yes, you can say that.
But with
that
Anthony
you can say.
Davis, they never won a series sweeping anybody. So They wouldn't have
So
swept Minnesota with Anthony Davis.
They would have swept Minnesota. They would have swept
They
them.
never won. They never won a series.
It would have been a clean sweep. It would have been
They
a
never
clean
swept
sweep.
anybody. Where we getting that from? They never swept anybody.
This team would have been a clean sweep.
You're talking about Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert got 3-4 defensive players of the year. How many does your boy Anthony Davis got? 0. So you talking about LeBron brought up him being a defensive candidate every year. No, he's not. Not every year. He hasn't been that every year. Y'all let me lying. Was Anthony Davis a defensive player of the year candidate in 2023? No. Was he in 2022? No. Was he in 2021? No. Was he in 2025? No. Anthony Davis was never a defensive player of the candidate in 1 year out of the 5. What are you talking about?
Me and LeBron don't want to hear your zesty comments.
No, that's your zesty. Exactly. Look, you need LeBron. When I'm using stats, that's what makes it zesty. That's what makes it zesty. You think that you got LeBron on your side with no facts. That's your problem.
I got him on my
that's
side.
your problem. There's no facts. There's no facts. Playing harder is not a fact. Playing harder is not a fact, Brandon. Playing harder is not a fact. That's not a fact. You can use that all you want to. That's not a fact, brother. That's sad. That's sad basketball talk. And it comes from you. It's even worse.
It's come from LeBron James. How you
from that? He also said we play better team defense. Did he or did he not say we play better team defense? Did he or did he not say we play better team defense? Is that the fact?
He said you have to. He said you have to play harder.
Of course you have to, because now you don't have Anthony Davis bum ass on the floor making himself a liability for your team defense to be better. Now we can play better. We don't need you to play better team defense. That's my point. You get rid of him, you play better team defense. And that's exactly what LeBron said.
You get rid of he clearly said you get rid of Anthony Davis. You got to play harder.
Huh? You got to play harder?
So why couldn't
you play harder with Anthony Davis? That's what I'm saying. How are your defense getting better without Anthony Davis, but all you're saying is that they played harder? I don't get this. Where was the playing harder with Anthony Davis? Shouldn't you be playing harder if you got some guy covering for you? Why are you playing harder now because Anthony Davis is not there? Why? Why are you doing this?
Ask LeBron James that. You have to ask LeBron James.
No, you said you and LeBron James were together. Now you separated yourself from LeBron James? You just said you were together with him.
You have to ask LeBron James this because
no. You didn't ask him. You didn't ask him about the harder. You didn't ask him about playing harder. So why you didn't ask him about playing harder?
Let me speak, Johnny.
No, let you speak. No, let you speak. Go find me where LeBron James said we played hard with Anthony Davis. You can't find that. Where? Why? Why wouldn't they play hard with Anthony Davis? Why was that?
We
got to play better defense. Exactly. We got to play better defense. We no longer have Anthony Davis here as a liability. We have to move on from Anthony Davis's defensive liability by being a team defense now. Because now as a team, when we play on a string, we're going to be able to stop teams. And we were able to do that. That's how they were able to do it. Yes. And that's why when Anthony Davis was gone, their defense got better. That's why when Anthony Davis goes to other teams, their defense don't get better. He's not that dude. He's going to block shots all the fuck he wants to. That's fine.
Stop making up stuff. Stop making up stuff.
I'm not making up stuff. I know basketball.
I know you making up stuff.
That's called team defense and individual defense. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about.
LeBron James know. I know exactly what we're talking about.
No, you don't know what LeBron James know because you didn't know.
You got to put we in it. You can't put. You got to put we in it because I'm with LeBron James cap. You got to put we in it.
I put you in the we, and you said you couldn't answer the question. So answer my question again. Why were they not playing hard with Anthony Davis?
I told you. They didn't have the defenders to play like that because they wasn't on the team yet.
But they had the defenders to play hard without Anthony Davis now all of a sudden?
Yeah, they
have the defenders to do that?
They had better defenders.
What happened to Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic, who was playing most of the games, 35 minutes, 34 minutes a game? Those guys are getting the majority of the minutes in the backcourt. They're your perimeter defenders.
Other players was playing harder. They was playing harder.
Other players are playing harder. The same ones that was with Anthony Davis, right?
Because LeBron James was playing harder.
Why was he playing harder? Why was he playing harder with Luka and not Anthony Davis? Why was it that?
Luka couldn't guard no one. Because Luka couldn't guard anybody. Because they were hurt.
Austin Reeves couldn't guard nobody. D'Lo couldn't guard nobody. Why LeBron playing hard then? Why wouldn't? Okay,
at least Reeves tried to play hard.
Okay, listen. Why were you and LeBron playing harder when Anthony Davis was there and D'Lo and Reeves? Why was it? Why did you wait till Anthony Davis played hard?
Because Anthony Davis used to clean up so much for D'Lo and for Reeves. So that's a lot of cleanup he had to do. That's a lot of cleanup he had to do.
How? How was he cleaning up? How was he cleaning up? How was he cleaning up again? How was he cleaning up?
Let me finish. So So he had to clean up. You saw him guarding all of the guards because they couldn't guard his goal. And then they didn't have Vandal for the first part of the season. They didn't have Finney Smith for the first part of the season, and Rui was hurt for the first part of the season, and Gabe Vincent was hurt for the first part of the season. So they had a whole bunch of players that couldn't guard his goal. So when everything came together, when they had Vandal, they had Finney, when they had Christie, when they had Goat James in there and Anthony Davis, they was looking unstoppable before they just decided to trade for Luka, which was good for the future, but it was good for this year.
What span was this? They were looking unstoppable again. I want to know what time they were looking unstoppable. Please tell me this. What span was this?
A 4-game winning streak. And
so for 4 games, they were looking unstoppable. That's what you're telling me. 4 games. Just 4 games. Okay, go ahead. Continue. Okay, go ahead.
Anthony Davis had a 40-20 game, and then before that, he played Golden State. He had almost a 35-15 game. Like, he was looking unstoppable. He was looking unstoppable. Yeah, he was looking unstoppable. Just like LeBron James said, like, they have to play harder just to make up for the best player in the league, the best defensive player in the league. And we saw that in the fourth quarters when you don't have that dog to go to, you have to settle for Luka Doncic shooting step back threes and LeBron James being tired that you can't even score a point in the fourth quarter because you don't have LeBron James, because everyone has to play harder on defense. So everyone's exhausted because Anthony Davis is not there. And also, you don't have that dog to dump the ball into, and you have Rudy Gobert playing like Wilt Chamberlain out there. When you had Anthony Davis, they would have won in 4 games. Me and LeBron agrees with this. Me and LeBron is on the same page. They have to play so hard to make up for what Anthony Davis did out there. Anthony Davis is a beast. He's the best defensive player on the team. They win because of Anthony Davis. They had it rolling. They had the defenders. They had Max Christie, who was knocking down threes, who was defending everybody. They had Gabe Vincent. He wasn't exhausted by playing so much. He was hurt anyways. They had a fresh LeBron James. LeBron James didn't have to play 45 minutes a game to actually be close. They didn't have LeBron James doing that because you had Anthony Davis on the court. Now you don't have Anthony Davis no more. You have Luka, who is literally standing up and watching people drive past him. Just watching them drive past him. Like, it's fine. It's fine. They would have been better with Anthony Davis. I'm not sure if they would have won, but they definitely would have been better. They definitely would not have lost in the first round. The only team that could beat them in the last 2 years was Denver, and that's all. And that's all. And the reason Denver didn't win it last year because the Lakers wore them out. They were so exhausted that the Timberwolves beat them in 7 games. So we could thank Anthony Davis for not letting Denver Nuggets repeat. There we go.
How did Anthony Davis stop the Denver Nuggets from repeating? The Lakers lost to them last year. What are you talking about?
Anthony Davis wore them out. They were so tired that they couldn't. They even said they was exhausted. The Nuggets, the coach, they all said that they was exhausted after
Anthony
the Lakers.
Davis wore them out. This is the most zesty, judgment thing I've ever heard you come out of your mouth. This man said they got worn out, and that by Anthony Davis after beating the Lakers 4-1, and after Anthony Davis gave up 2 game-winning shots as the primary defender on a guard. He couldn't even stop a man from taking a jump shot in his mouth. You expect him to do that. I don't expect him to do that. I know he can't do that. You said he can do that. You said he's out here helping everybody. And when I see him not helping a goddamn soul, I'm seeing him being called out. They say, let me put Anthony Davis on my man instead of D'Angelo Russell, instead of Max Christie, instead of Goat James, instead of Austin Reeves. I'm going to take Anthony Davis, Mr. I play harder because my team's the best because I'm out here, and I'm going to score on his bitch ass. And they did it. It executed perfectly. He didn't stop shit. He didn't do nothing. All he did was put himself on a fucking highlight reel as the dude who got his ass fucking smoked in a pivotal playoff game, like he's always been doing. Because he needs the GOAT to save him. He needs Rui Hachimura. He needs Vando. This nigga needs role players to be an effective player. I've never heard that other with Michael Jordan.
Role players to do their job.
With Michael Jordan. The zestiest Jeffrey I've ever heard in my life.
They don't.
You have role players. They go 6-0. When you have the puppy, Scottie Pippen, you don't have shit. When you have Dio and Luka and Reeves, oh my God, Anthony Davis is. You're not gonna get the Anthony Davis you want. When you give him solid defenders like a KCP, a GOAT LeBron James, a Rondo, a Dwight Howard, a JaVale McGee. Oh, now all of a sudden he's a great elite defender. We can praise him for everything. But when he has D'Lo and all these other guys, and he doesn't have Vando, he doesn't have DFS. He has regular defenders, regular guys. All of a sudden, he's not that effective. His team's defense is completely horrible. Again, that's the most zestiest Jeffrey logic I've ever heard in my life because only Michael Jordan needs role players to be effective. That's crazy. That's just crazy. You brought up Gabe Vincent played 72 games this season. He's been there from the beginning. Lakers had their 20th defense with him. What are you talking about? They had Rui.
You saying that you need role players to play effective, and that's
no. You said that. You said that. You brought up all the excuses. You said that.
You literally
said that.
Opened your and said that role players need to be their job.
I thought you needed the other 4 players on the team because that will make
again. Like I said, and like I said, listen, and like I said, Vando was only available the third of your 4-game winning streak where he only played 12 minutes that game. Then the second game, now mind you, this 4-game winning streak Brandon is praising was against the Washington Wizards, the Boston Celtics, the struggling Golden State Warriors before Jimmy Butler, and the Charlotte Hornets. These are the 4 games he is praising Anthony Davis for somehow turning around the Lakers. This was the 4-game wrap-up to show that the Lakers would sweep Minnesota and Anthony Edwards. Right? All right? Now, Vando shows up against the Golden State Warriors, which is the 3rd game of this supposed streak that Brandon wants to bring up. He only played 12 minutes. He only played 13 minutes next game. The next game after that against Philadelphia, he didn't even play. Since then, there was no Anthony Davis. So out of Anthony Davis's entire span, he only had Vando twice. So there is no record of the Lakers looking good defensively when they had Vando. Because when they had Vando back in 2023, they had, again, the 20th ranked defense also that year. They've never had a top ranked defense
that year too. So are you saying that Vando
I'm not done. No, I'm not done. I'm not done.
So
I'm not done.
Are you saying that Vando wasn't a big part of their defense in the regular season? Are you saying that? Are you saying that?
The Lakers were successful in 2023 because of their offense and because at the end of the day, LeBron James was playing way better then than he was playing today. We got 40-point games
defensively this year. Are you saying that? Vando did.
Yes, because they didn't have Anthony Davis. Brandon, again, out of the 36 games that wait, no, Brandon. Out of the 36 games that Vando played this season, he played 34 without Anthony Davis. So yes, he was effective because he didn't have Anthony Davis on the dumbass roster, nigga. That's why.
This year, was he effectively defensively this year?
Yes, because there's Anthony Davis.
All right, Anthony Davis. And if he would have played with Anthony Davis, he would have been even more effective. Simple as that.
No, he wouldn't have. No, he wouldn't have because the team defense would have been worse. Because the team defense is better now, not because they have Vando. They play better team defense because they play better team defense. They have an easier way of playing strategy. They got everybody who can do multiple things, not just one guy who wants to do one thing. That's the difference. JJ Redick said this. I got the clips and the quotes. I've been telling y'all this. I've got this. He's been saying that we play better team defense. They've been playing better team defense. Their defense was not the issue. They lost due to their offense and not an ability to get offense off. You're not going to tell me that Anthony Davis makes the Lakers offensively better than Luka Doncic. That is outrageous. That's asinine. That's hypocrisy of every facet of the term. Luka Doncic is a better offensive player than Anthony Davis. So the Lakers' problem was not their defense. Again, their defense got better, 2 times better without Anthony Davis. They went from 20th to the 10th ranked defense. That means they got twice as better without Anthony Davis, and their offense failed them at the end, particularly their coach with his strategy and what he tried to do in those last 2 or 3 games.
Trying to blame it on Jay. You just blaming. You just so zesty. You just blaming everybody for this. You just pointing fingers at everybody. Just pointing fingers at everybody. So zesty. So zesty.
At least I'm not using an imaginary. I'm not using an imaginary scenario to act like I'm right. You brought up some imaginary scenario to act like you're right. It's an imaginary scenario.
No, I actually brought up what LeBron James said. What I've been saying the whole time.
Yeah, I know. He said that they play better team defense without Anthony Davis. That's what you said. You're right. That's exactly what you said. They play better team defense without Anthony Davis. That's what exactly what he
They
said.
have to play harder without LeBron, without Anthony
Exactly.
Davis.
Now we have to play better team. Yeah, we're gonna play better team defense without Anthony Davis, and we did it. That's exactly what he said. We got to play on the string. We got to cover for one another, and we got to play better defense. And that's what we did. That's what they did. That's exactly what they did. That shows you how horrible Anthony Davis is as an anchor, that he can't get his own teammates to play defense. They only can play defense when he disappears. See, instead of y'all talking about LeBron leaving, all y'all worry about is what Johnny said and how AD sucks. But let's continue this conversation because we do have a super chat in the building by Lamar Jack. Gee, this ain't nuclear energy. The lack of fourth scoring is the reason the Lakers lost, which was a direct result of coaching decisions and rotations. Yeah, but Brandon, rather than talk about LeBron saying playing harder. Playing harder.
I'm sorry LeBron said it. I'm sorry he said it. I'm sorry he said it. I'm sorry, Johnny. I'm sorry.
You were waiting for something. You couldn't wait to say it. You been getting cooked for months. You was waiting for something. I got him. I finally got A. Johnny. LeBron said they just got to play harder. A. Johnny doesn't believe in playing hard. That's not a strategy. That's what I keep telling you. There ain't nobody sitting around here saying, listen, just play hard and we're going to be better defensively.
I mean, LeBron is saying,
like he said, we got to play coverage. We have to cover one another. We have to do a lot of different things. Yes, we have to do a lot more different things.
When you play sports, you have to play hard to be effective. Simple as that. There's no such thing as not playing hard in basketball.
There's no such thing as a professional athlete not playing hard. So to bring it up means that you are being completely ignorant of this. No, I didn't. I told you that they played smarter defense. You brought up them playing harder. I heard him saying them covering one another. That's a defensive strategy. A coverage means I got to cover for you. That's a strategy. Not I play harder. He said we play on a string, meaning that we are all connected with one another. We all communicate and know what we're all supposed to be doing.
How did that
that's
work?
That's something we weren't doing with Anthony Davis, which means I was right.
The ball
right. Oh, yeah. Of course, Rudy Gobert's going to do that when you're not playing no center. You're not going to bring up the fact that the Lakers play better defense with Jackson Hayes than without Anthony Davis. I bet you won't say that. I bet you won't bring that up.
Apparently they do. JJ Redick said he's not effective because all he do is foul the first 2 minutes and he's out.
No, he
That's
didn't.
why he didn't play in the game.
No, he didn't.
All he did
That's not what he said.
And all he do is complain, and all he do is pout because he's fouling, so he's not effective in playing in the games.
That's not what he said. He said that we can't score with him. He said we can't score with him. That's what he said. He said we can't score with him. That's offense. That's not defense. That's offense.
That's all he do is foul. He doesn't contribute much, and he's off the court within 2 to 3 minutes. So why would you put him in a game when you know he's not effective?
He doesn't have to be off the court every 2 or 3 minutes because you're not playing him. No, you don't, because you're not playing it. Because you're not, again, Brandon, if he fouls out and you don't want to play him, what's the difference? That's the point. Silliness. At the end of the day,
he just fouling.
No, he's not. No, he's not, Brandon. He's your only rebounder. He's your only good screener.
That's
why they offense sputtered. And that's why they offense sputtered, because he was stubborn like you are, and they didn't listen. Exactly. Stubborn like you are. Exactly.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the only
exactly.
good screener. Come on.
Like I said before, the Lakers defense is better. If anyone you can show me how the Lakers defense was better without a LeBron James quote, then we can go there. You can say that.
Isn't that hilarious how you going against what LeBron James has said and you complain about
going against what he's saying.
That's pretty hilarious.
I'm going against what you're saying. I'm going against what you're saying. Because you didn't say the Lakers defense was better because they're playing harder. You said the Lakers defense isn't better. So you're the one who's contradicting your own stance by bringing evidence of something that proves me right. Are you saying the Lakers defense got better because they played harder, or the Lakers just played harder and still had the same results defensively?
They got better because they had better players on the floor to play defense.
So they didn't need Anthony Davis to play better defense, correct?
They needed Anthony Davis to win a title.
No, how? How win the title? They haven't won a title in 6 years. How are they going to win a title then? Where?
They finally got defenders. They finally got defenders.
Why did the defenders win? Where? What defenders did they get? The same defenders you keep complaining about that they lost with?
They got Finney Smith.
Where was Finney Smith against this series? Okay, Finney Smith was here now. Why did Finney Smith? Finney Smith doesn't allow no one to get to the basket. Because that's what you're saying. Anthony Davis doesn't have to cover Finney Smith. He doesn't have, so Finney Smith did his job. Why did they lose? If Finney Smith did his job, why did they lose?
Like LeBron said, have no
Clean
one to
up
clean
what?
up for him.
Clean up
When
what?
Anthony,
Clean up.
when Anthony Edwards walks to the rim, when Rudy Gobert gets the ball and
Against
holds it
who?
above everybody and
Against
dunks.
who? I thought you
Against
said the Lakers had these good defenders. Against who?
Lakers.
What defenders? What defenders? I thought you just said the Lakers have good defenders now. Why are you twitching on the Lakers defenders?
They needed
Clean
a
up
cleanup
for
guy.
what? You said the Lakers have good defenders now. What are you cleaning up? You're playing it with good defenders. What are you cleaning up?
Defenders. They finally had the defenders because they would have kept Max Christie. They would have had. They would have
They're
had.
missing Max Christie as well. Max Christie is another person they're missing as well. They're not just missing Anthony Davis. Max Christie is another person that they're missing as well. Correct? Okay, continue.
Traded him. Yeah, they would have had the defenders and the offense to win and sweep the Timberwolves. But you know,
again, I asked you again, Renegade. I'm gonna ask Renegade because Brandon can't answer the question. Renegade, what is the center cleaning up when you have good defenders that don't allow no one to get to the paint? Explain this to me, please, because you guys are saying Anthony Davis plays great when there's no one to cover and actually clean up for.
We have just saw a series versus the Timberwolves. Come on now, we're not blind. We watched the series. Everyone watched the series.
You saw the series and they didn't lose because of their defense. We keep saying this. They didn't lose because of their defense. They lost because of their offense.
Whatever they needed to score, they scored. So let's get everybody else.
They need to score on every possession, Brandon. Did you tell me? There we go again with the zesty Jeffrey logic. When I needed to score, I scored. So you choose and pick and choose when you want to score. You pick and choose when you want to score.
That's what the Timberwolves did. When they wanted to score, they scored easily.
So the Lakers can't pick and choose when they want to score? So why can't the Lakers pick and choose when they want to score? Why was the Lakers not being able to score? Why were they not able to score? Why were the Lakers shooting under 40% in the fourth quarter? Why were they doing that?
They didn't have Anthony Davis. Because they didn't have Anthony Davis.
So Anthony Davis is going to make them better offensively and defensively. And none of the numbers show this. No numbers show this. What numbers do you have? So what numbers do you have with Anthony Davis makes their offense and their defense better enough to where they were going to average more than 100 points versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they were going to prevent the Timberwolves from scoring 107?
Of course they was.
What numbers do you have to state this, Brandon? It's a very simple question.
Bring up no. Why would I go bring up some numbers for? What?
You don't have numbers, Brandon. We're Goat James Kingdom. All we have is numbers. You have no numbers. Again, this is what happens when you go down Zesty Jeffrey Alley. You can say I don't need numbers. I don't need nothing. I just need quotes. And that somebody else is wrong because I want to argue for the sake of arguing, although I have no real substantial argument to stand on. Great job by you, Brandon. Good. I'm going to treat you like the rest of the Zesty Jeffrey.
What's the number for Anthony Davis?
You don't know what you're talking about. Take this L.
LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron.
You don't have those numbers either. You don't have those numbers either.
I do have those numbers. I do have those numbers. I do have those numbers. The Lakers' offense has been better without Anthony Davis. Okay, listen. The Lakers. It's not a one-on-one. It's not a one-on-one basketball game, sir. It's not a one-on-one basketball game, sir.
You don't have the numbers. It's fine.
I have the numbers. Here you go. Here's my numbers. The Lakers' offense has been better without Anthony Davis. The Lakers' defense has been better without Anthony Davis. Those are my numbers, meaning that without Anthony Davis, the Lakers are a better team. With Anthony Davis, they would have had a worse defense versus Minnesota. They would have had a worse offense versus Minnesota. That is factual, ladies and gentlemen, because Anthony Davis does not do nothing special. He doesn't spread the floor. He doesn't spread the floor on. He doesn't spread the floor on the other side of the floor.
That's hypothetical.
He doesn't help on defensive switches. He doesn't protect driving lanes. He doesn't protect passing lanes. There's data to show this, ladies and gentlemen. There's actual physical data, metrics that show all of this. Not only my eye test. So at the end of the day, whatever you guys are saying about the Lakers, you can continue to be zesty all you want to and argue with me all you want to. I got stats, numbers, film to back up everything I said about the Lakers. And I will repeat myself again. The Lakers did not lose because of their defense. They lost because of their offense. And until some of you start talking about how the Lakers could have had a better offense with Anthony Davis, because you can't prove they had a better defense with Anthony Davis because there's no proof of it at all.
You can't prove it either. You can't prove it either.
I just proved it to you. I just proved it to you.
It's
AD
a
got
different
game
team that
winners
they
in
had.
the
It's a
playoffs on
different
the
team they
Lakers
had.
squad. That's
It's a
how we
different
know.
team. You try to prove the Lakers with different lineups. That's not the same. So let's
I'm
get
proving the
everybody
Lakers
else
team.
input because
The
you
Lakers
being
team.
possessive right now. Y'all tired of
No, you got
hating on
exposed.
LeBron
You
and the
got
Lakers.
exposed. Yeah, you got
Possessive.
exposed. That's what you did.
All
You
right.
got exposed. You got
Let's
exposed
talk
for
about
not
LeBron.
knowing how to talk basketball.
LeBron exposed you. All right.
No, he
Travis,
didn't.
do you have anything to say about this conversation? About if you're still there?
I have nothing to say about this conversation. I've had and I get all hot and bothered when you guys argue like that. Keep going.
Look, the Zesty Jeffries agree with Brandon. Like I told you, it's gonna be all Zesty Jeffries agreeing with
They
Brandon.
agree with
Let's
LeBron
continue
James.
down the
They
line.
agree with LeBron
Let's
James. They
continue
agree
down
with
the
LeBron.
line and see how many
You're the
Zesty
only one
Jeffries
who agree with LeBron.
you have riled
You're the
up
only
today.
one
Let's
who
see.
agree with LeBron.
Let's
You're the
go.
only one who agree
Here
with
we
LeBron.
go. A real basketball fan. Numbers over feelings, sir. Bring up the numbers. You don't have
Yeah.
numbers. All you have is LeBron James
1
quotes.
and 4.
Zesty
That's
as they
the
get. Let's
LeBron
zesty as they
James
get.
quote is zesty. LeBron James quote
Look,
is
here we go
zesty.
again.
Do you
Another
hear
look. What he said? Look, hey,
Do you hear
John,
this?
Travis, y'all can read, right? What does
Do you
that
hear
say?
yourself?
Zesty Jeffrey says this guy and his numbers. They don't want to talk numbers. They want to talk what LeBron
Hear
James
yourself.
said. Here we
You're
go.
saying
Let's
LeBron
continue.
James
Let's
is zesty. Do
continue.
you
Let's
hear yourself?
continue.
Do you hear
Here
yourself?
we go. They had AD and got swept as well. That's right. Luka never got
That's
swept.
acceptable.
Lucas never got swept.
Luka did get swept. Luka did get
Here we
swept.
go.
The worst defender on
Look,
the team. The worst defender on the team.
another Zesty Jeffrey, right? We had LeBron James making clutch blocks, clutch steals, clutch boards, clutch rebounds, and the Lakers messing up on the offensive side, not hitting any shots. Let's continue. Let's continue watching more Zesty Jeffries who agree with
Here
you.
is another
Continue.
Brian fan. Here's another Brian fan. So a Zesty Jeffries, anybody who disagrees with a Johnny, get it from a LeBron
No.
fan.
There's anyone who used Zesty Jeffrey logic to disagree with A. Johnny, because that's what you need. You can't, because if you use logic, there's no argument with me. That's the point. If you have logic, you can't argue with me. That's the point. You only can argue with me with Zesty Jeffrey logic. That's the only way you go. The man said, LeBron said they play harder, so that means the Laker defense sucks without Anthony Davis. That's not an argument. That's the Zesty Jeffrey logic. The man said the Lakers defense are worse because LeBron said they play harder without Anthony Davis. Ladies and gentlemen, that is as zesty as they get. That's not a real argument. Brandon wanted to argue with me today, and I got it. He got the argument he's looking for. He got the exposure he's looking for. And anyone on his side is also getting exposed because none of you got numbers. That's the facts. That's all facts. The man who came to me to start this show with nothing but numbers said he had no numbers. Ladies and gentlemen, do you understand how that's a victory for me?
What?
The man who comes up with nothing but numbers had no numbers. Remember this, ladies and gentlemen. The man who comes up with nothing but numbers had no, they call him the stat man. He had no stats for A. Johnny. Think about that. Just think about that. Yeah, he had no stats for A. Johnny.
What numbers are you talking about? These imaginary numbers that you don't have. All you have
I do
is
have them.
a different team.
I do have them.
Anthony Davis. That's all you have. That's all you have is a different team.
I do have them. I do have them.
Can we talk about how the light skin special's about to blow a 3-1 lead?
No, give them their 20 seconds. They need another 20 seconds. Give them 20 more seconds.
Hold on, wait.
I tell you why. In 10 seconds, I'll tell you why.
Before we stop this, are y'all really want to talk about LeBron James, or do y'all want to continue the exposure that I'm supposedly getting? Is that because that's the thing here, right? I'm supposed to be getting exposed here, right?
Hold on. You guys have argued for the first hour of the show. We've been on an hour. Y'all argue for the first hour. I just want you to know that's classic. The first hour, nonstop.
Yeah, Brandon prepared this. Brandon had a video on cue for me. Brandon had a video on cue for me. He had a video on cue for me and still got exposed. This is the funniest shit ever.
How did I get exposed for what LeBron James said?
Because you had no stats to prove anything that you're saying. You saying Anthony Davis is a great defender is not saying anything about the Lakers defense. I'm talking about the Lakers. Okay, all right. Were the Lakers' defensive field goal percentage better with Anthony Davis or without Anthony Davis opponent-wise?
It's a different team. What part don't you understand? It's a different team. It's not the same.
No, it's not different. It's the same team. They only traded away. It's not a different team. Look, there you go again. Now it's a different team. You see what I'm saying? Remember this. when we ask a Zesty Jeffrey about 1988, what do they say? They remember they bring up the team. When we're talking about 1991 and Jordan averaging 30 and 11 assists, it's Jordan. Right? So when we're talking about stats, we can't talk about Anthony Davis. We have to talk about the team. Now, so basically saying this, there is no wait. So since there is no team that Anthony Davis was on this NBA season that could make the Lakers a top 10 defense, we can't sit here and say that Anthony Davis didn't do his job, although as a defensive anchor, that is your job to make other players better. They didn't have, so now we can't say he sucked because he's telling me I can't use any stat. When he's playing, the roster he has, the team he has, shows that he's either been 20 or 23rd as a defensive anchor. As soon as they remove him off the roster, the team jumps up in better defensive strategy, better defensive game plan, better defensive statistics and results. And all of a sudden, we can't use that because that was supposedly the team Anthony Davis never had. Imagine this. Imagine that. That's like saying we can't use Washington Wizard years because Jordan didn't have Luka. Jordan didn't have Anthony Davis.
I mean, you he didn't have the team. You're not making any sense.
I'm making sense. You're using Zesty Jeffrey logic. That's why it doesn't make sense. Of course it doesn't make sense. You're using Zesty Jeffrey logic.
LeBron James quote.
Yes, that's Zesty Jeffrey logic. They didn't get better defensively because you said that even though they played harder, they were not better defensively.
Jeffrey logic. Do you hear the words that are coming out of your mouth?
Brandon,
do you hear the words that are coming out of your mouth?
Brandon, LeBron said,
weird song.
I hear myself, Brandon.
You hear the words come out of your mouth.
I do hear, Brandon, answer this question. If the Lakers were playing harder, did their defense become better or worse? Because they didn't have Anthony Davis and they were playing harder. I just need to know that answer.
Their defense got better because they had different players on the court.
So they got better without Anthony Davis, correct? So they got better without Anthony Davis, correct?
They got better in the regular season with better defensive players until it showed in the playoffs. Remember, we just watched this 5 games.
So they ended up getting better defensive players than Anthony fucking Davis? So you're telling me Vando is a better defender than Anthony Davis? You're telling me DFS is a better defender than Anthony Davis?
More defenders. Like you said, Anthony Davis was cleaning up for everybody. He was cleaning up for everybody because they didn't have those players. They did not have those players.
What more defenders? What more defenders? What more defenders did they add? That wasn't there when Anthony Davis was there.
Finney Smith was just getting there.
Okay.
Vando was just getting there.
Okay, Vando, that's it.
And
Vando played 2 games for them. No, stop lying. Gabe Vincent played 72 games. He was there. Gabe Vincent was there. He was there.
Barely playing. He was barely playing. He was out there like 5 minutes a game.
You're lying, Brandon. Don't bring up numbers if you don't lie. Don't bring up stats. Now you want to bring up stats? He wasn't. He played 72 minutes, Brandon. He played 72 games, Brandon.
He was barely playing.
He played 72 games, Brandon.
Let me see how many minutes he was playing.
Okay, let's go. Gabe Vincent was averaging. Let me see here. Minutes per game. 21 minutes per game, Brandon. 21 minutes per game, Brandon. Gabe Vincent for the regular season, for the NBA regular season, was playing ever since the beginning of the season, Brandon. He was getting clearly 20 minutes. Let's bring this up. Between the first game of the season to the last time they had Anthony Davis on the roster, he was playing an average of
19 minutes a game.
Oh, wait. Give me a second here. It's coming up. Don't worry. It's coming. Here we go. From the beginning of the season to he played. Come on now, show me his stuff now. Come on now. I want the exact time. Remember, he averaged 21 minutes per game as a player. During that same span, during the whole NBA season, he was playing an average of 20 minutes per game. So he only playing 1 more minute per game after Anthony Davis left. So he was still playing with Anthony Davis. He's playing 20 minutes per game. He was playing 20 minutes per game. So don't bring up Gabe Vincent. So again, you got DFS, you got Vando. Who is the other player that the Lakers added after?
Those are two good players.
Okay. All right, okay. So wait a minute. So now we remove. Wait. Now we remove. Okay, so now we remove Anthony Davis. We remove Max Christie. So you take away 2 defenders. You add 2 the defenders, and the Lakers have a better defense. While you take away an Anthony Davis and a Max Christie, and you add a Luka Doncic, and the Lakers defense get better. All because LeBron said they played harder. I'll take that, Brandon. If the Lakers defense got better after Anthony Davis was gone because they played harder on the account of LeBron James's words, I'll take that. But you're going to take this L. You have now been exposed by the exposure.
Take that L because they're better with Anthony Davis.
I got the Rockets winning tonight, Mar. Shout out to Mar for the super chat. Peace and blessings to you for that. We appreciate you. We're trying to get the goals here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for supporting what we do here at GOAT James Kingdom. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. The Civil War has officially been arrived because Brandon decided to become zesty today after the Lakers lost. He couldn't say none of this shit last week. Didn't say none of this shit the week before.
I've been telling you the whole time. What are you talking about? I've been telling you the whole time.
Yeah, hold that L. Hold that L, son. Hold that L, son. Take that L with you, brother. Take that L with you, brother. Take that L with you, brother. You know what, Brandon? We have been hogging this show.
Because Luka is the reason that they don't play defense at all. And that's why they lost. He can't guard a soul.
What? He can't guard. Yeah, the Luka. It's very easy to say. Very lazy. Very lazy. Very lazy.
You can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out.
You got knocked the fuck out, bitch! Yeah.
Join the zesty Jeffrey Lane, brother.
No, it's right to say Anthony Davis don't play defense, but it's lazy to say Luka don't play defense. Do you hear the words that are coming out your mouth? Do you hear the words that are coming out of your mouth?
That's very easy to say. That's very easy to say, Brandon. Everybody can say that. That's obvious. That's the obvious. Luka can't play defense. Nobody ever said Luka can't play defense. Whoever said that? Whoever said that?
I mean, that's the reason that they lost. Luka can't guard anybody. Everyone's exhausted because he's on the court, not guard anybody.
Everybody's exhausted because you're playing them without playing your bench. Nigga, you're not playing your bench. What the fuck are you talking about?
Do not blame this on JJ. Do not blame this on JJ. Come on down. We know Luka. Simple as that. You replace Anthony Davis.
It is JJ. It is JJ. It is JJ.
You place Anthony Davis with Luka and they win.
JJ Redick's.
You place.
All right. It was a horrible game. All right, this is what we're gonna do,
and they'll win. Simple as that.
All right, you know what? Let's since Brandon loves Zesty Jeffries so much today, we are going to allow Zesty Jeffries to have their moment in time. And the way we do that is obviously by finding out that Travis was out here creeping out on a late night tip, and he went out here and found somebody saying something silly on the internet. And because of that, we are officially going to have the chat bomb with T Perfect. T Perfect, are you ready for your chat bomb?
Sure, let's do it.
Let's get this going, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to give you the chat bomb by T Perfect.
We are interrupting our normal programming. The current threat level is critical, meaning an attack is imminent. Civilians are advised to remain indoors. In some urban areas, evacuations are taking place. If you're in one of these areas, police will help you to safety. Follow their orders without question. You should remain indoors until you are told otherwise. You should now prepare for a nuclear strike. You will not be able to leave your location for 14 days after the strike.
But we are going to move on to the next topic, and that's Skip Bayless, somebody that LeBron James can just never escape, right? He can never escape the fact that Skip Bayless has pulled his card since what, 2008, 2007? He's always known that he was never going to be Michael Jordan. That's always been clear, right? That's always been something that LeBron James has never been able to escape. He's worn the number 23. That means you're supposed to be the best. That means you're supposed to be the best winner. But LeBron hasn't been that. He hasn't been the best winner in the sport. So many other guys are better. So many.
No can do, yeah. All right, bitch, you going too far. No can do.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of self-explanatory. I mean that's obviously there's these. I don't want to just start using the slang and like name calling like say JDRs because I mean it's just so comical though. They spring up like weeds. Like we chop them down. There's like two more that pop up in their place. And just to illustrate this, she's actually on live stream with MJFB right now, or she was. And like it's just hey, to be expected. She's over there with Zesty Fitness Rants and Angry Old Cap, things like that. And I mean, you can just tell that she is in the clickbait market. And I mean, that's just there's so many. I was looking through her channel, and there's so many things to debunk. It's just she's coming in with the worst takes. She's just taking pages straight out of like Skip Bayless's book and just going in on the worst narratives on LeBron James. I mean, kind of to be expected. How are you going to make a name for yourself when you're kind of cute but you don't know basketball like most women don't? Then you got to do that. Got to write off other Zesty's coattails and just say the worst stupid shit. So, I mean, like no, like just that started off with LeBron James isn't a great winner. By what metric? He's second in all-time wins, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he's been doing that as the clear alpha on the team. Like he's a. It's not like he was Robert Parrish or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and like guiding his team to 50 or 60 wins, from the bench. He's been leading from the front his entire career. Even if he was, sharing the like glory with Wade or Anthony Davis, like he's still been a top 5 player in the league. You can't say that for anyone who's been approaching his level of consistency. He's second in time in Finals MVPs. He's third all time in regular season MVPs. I mean, so the what like when you, I just wish I could have been there when she was saying, okay, what is, what's your definition of criteria of winning? He's not like there's so many others who's a better winner than LeBron James outside of maybe, I mean, who are you talking? Bill Russell? You're not talking. I know you're not talking consistent wins. I mean, so it's ridiculous when you just say things like that, where it's just off the top of your head, the most ridiculous, ludicrous things, hoping that people don't call you out, not having a live stream to make sure they don't call you out. It's just, I mean, we've seen it before from her. We've seen it from Dreamers Pro. We've seen it from, Man Down Sports, Mel. Like all these people, they can't take feedback. They know they're just saying things to get clicks from these casuals out there. And everyone's still safe in the comments. They don't want to talk. They don't want to have debates. They don't want to, especially if you're, I mean, I can guarantee you, she's going to stay in her safe place. She's not going to have any kind of a debate because she'd get cooked and barbecued. And, she's going to continue to find her home among the people who have this ongoing narrative about LeBron James not being a winner, when everything that we know about the man says differently. Again, he's arguably the best winner of all time. And it's just ridiculous. I mean, his resume speaks for itself, and I apologize. Like I was, getting ready for the debate. Today, I would have, picked a lot of more of her videos to debunk, and I will do that. Not that I need to, because you guys are smart enough to do that on your own, but I find it fun and hilarious. And yeah, I mean, at this whole start of this whole journey, I was pretty firmly against LeBron when I joined this, but now I'm beginning to see that like people just say anything to discredit the man. Not from like a logical or unbiased perspective, but just from an area of hate. And like I didn't believe that. I just thought that he was kind of overrated as fuck, but I couldn't have been more wrong. And just seeing these people out there with those takes is just, it's been illuminating. And yeah, so I'll probably have a huge expose for it. So, or next week. So, stay tuned for that.
Appreciate that. No doubt, no doubt. Shout out to you, Travis, man. I listen, I don't like to talk about the young lady because I like to leave the women alone. I don't want to get into these deep conversations about basketball. Then somebody gets into their feelings. But Shout out to you, Travis, for finding out that silliness that young lady provided. That was just dumb. That was just dumb. So shout out to Ralph. We got Ralph in the building. Peace and blessings, Ralph. Before we let you speak, because you already know whose side of the conversation you are on, let's address some of LeBron fans, because it's about time we do stuff for LeBron fans, because there's been some zestiness going on in here today. We can't allow this type of zestiness. Am I correct, John? Right? There's too much zestiness going on in here today, right, John? A little bit too much zestiness, man. So we got to clear this up with the King John segment. We got to come up with the flowers for King John, because you guys out here just want to be angry for no reason. Fake Laker fans, like just blaming people for no reason. But here in Goat James Kingdom, we give flowers around here. We appreciate greatness. We love greatness, and we do it with King John's flowers. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Rosebetters!
Before I start today with who I'm giving my flowers out, when I'm done with my flowers and we go back to the screen with everybody on, I please want somebody to check out Travis' picture and see what he has on that picture. We're not going to let him get away with that this week. I'm not letting him get away with that. That is we're not letting him get away with that. I just wanted to call that out. That is not happening. I just wanted to call that out, everybody, because I know y'all saw it, but y'all weren't thinking about what that picture really was. So I just wanted to call that out first. I couldn't believe you did that. But this week, who we giving the flowers out to? One of the things what happened this year was when the trade happened with Luka. I felt like LeBron had did something different. He had picked up his level of basketball. And I actually felt like this. I hadn't said nothing to nobody about it, but I really felt like that LeBron, this might be his last run, his last year playing basketball. I really thought that, and I just had that thought, and I just felt like we needed to celebrate LeBron more, because it's so much criticism go his way. I've never ever. The criticism that goes his way is crazy. Even with the chat bomb today, the young lady saying he was never going to be Jordan. I don't even know what that means. But one page I found, this guy has a Instagram page and a Facebook page. The name of his page is Team LeBron All Day 23. On his Instagram page, he has 184 posts, 2,278 followers. And he followed 2 people. I love pages like this because it's a page of celebration. The criticism goes everywhere, and you see it everywhere. But these days what we don't do is celebrate. I love pages like this. I love the picture he has up there. It's cool, and I love his page. The one thing I do all the time when I do these flowers, I don't look for this stuff. I actually follow these people all the time. I'm on social media. I pay attention to what's going on social media. And I like this page of his because he celebrates LeBron James. And I also want to talk about he has a Facebook page too. On Facebook, he has 53,000 followers and he followed 20 people. And the one thing I love about both his pages, he's celebrating LeBron James. And it's one thing that in the future that's going to happen. It's going to be it's always going to be criticism towards LeBron. But at the same time, I think you got to have that balance. And I think at one time, the criticism was heavier than the celebrating. And I think we're getting more of the celebrating back towards this. And I like this, that what we're doing. And I like pages like this. I want people to go check out his page. Hey, grow his followers. He got a nice page. He celebrates. You can communicate with him. Actually, doing the Brandon Johnny, we was actually messaging back and forth. I was trying to get him on the show, but he didn't have time. But we were messaging back and forth. That's why I was going in and out because I was messaging him. So I want people to go check out his page. It's a celebration towards LeBron James, and I love pages like this because that's what I do on my page. I try to celebrate LeBron James, and I get people who hate that. So I can imagine what his messages look like at times. Hey, I want him to know. I hope he in the chat. Hey, I'm down for your page. You got a great page. Keep doing the great work you do. I'ma always follow you. Go James Kingdom gonna follow you. Hey, if you ever want to come up, hey, reach out to me. I try to get you on here. Hey, we could do this. I think you got a great page, and let's keep doing this. I love the celebration of LeBron James, and I don't want it to stop. And I follow. One thing is crazy that at all these flowers I've given out, we have somebody consistently on each page. So I really do like that, and I think it's something we should continue doing. Celebrate this man. He has had a great career, and it won't stop. And I just want to give it up again. The name of this guy page is Team LeBron All Day 23 on Instagram. On Facebook, it's called Team LeBron All Day. So let's keep doing this and don't stop. Celebrate this man. This could be the end. You never know. We could have watched LeBron last game the other day. So.
Indeed, that is true. We might have watched his last game. We all don't think so, but we might have. At the end of the day, we're gonna let the man recover from his injury. But as he does that, we're gonna continue to boost up his legacy and let everybody know that LeBron James is the GOAT of basketball, is the greatest player to ever play, greatest player we have all ever seen play the game of basketball. On top of that, so shout out to Team LeBron All Day, as they have been officially GJK approved. All right, let's get this going. So who just popped out of here? Oh, John just left by accident.
John just popped out. Well, we got Ralph
John,
up there.
We got Ralph in the building. Shout out to Ralph. What's good, Ralph?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? I've been listening to you and Brandon going back and forth consistently about this topic at hand. I was eating my popcorn just watching. But I'm gonna tell you this. Before the series start, I did have the T-Wolves in 5. I did have them in 5.
Bullshit, you did.
Why is that?
There's no way. You had them in 5.
The reason why I had the T-Wolves because I felt like the interior defense was going to be an issue with the Lakers, and it showed by seeing Julius Randle perform his best playoff series ever in his career. He was able to play bully ball to where they didn't have the rim protection. That's why I was saying earlier in the year and plus in the chat that Anthony Davis was definitely missed, because if that rim protection was there, Julius Randle would have had to been forced to play on the perimeter, shooting from the mid-range and everything, instead of playing bully ball like he did in that series.
Yeah, that's true.
So why
do you think Julius
consistently?
You think Julius Randle was the deciding factor for the series, Ralph?
He was a big difference maker in this series. Him and Jaden McDaniels, a couple of those games, but Julius Randle was like really consistent. And like I said, he performed the best I ever seen in the playoffs. And I watched him, and he was trash with my Knicks in the playoffs.
Trash.
Because he was trash because if you look at the series that he was playing in the previous time with the Knicks, when they played Atlanta, they had a rim protector with Clint Capella. When we played against Cleveland, they had Jared Allen, rim protector. And then we went to the next round, and then even when we went to the next round, he wasn't able to perform very well against Miami because they got banned. So when it comes to Julius Randle, he was a big factor in that series, and they wasn't able to defend him.
Don't worry, I will scour your page to see what you said 2 weeks ago about this series. So
Well,
you're saying
it's about to be built to ass for the Knicks.
I wasn't posting it. I was just having conversations on TikTok and amongst others. That was my take.
Yeah,
Biscayne in June next year.
Unrecorded lives. I know. I got you.
Sounding real zesty right now, Ralph.
I didn't call Ralph zesty. I didn't call Ralph zesty. Ralph brought up something that I heard. No, he's not. Don't confuse him with you.
Was having a field day, like I said.
He went to numbers. He went to numbers, stats, and actual basketball talk. You went to a quote. Stop it, sir. You went to a quote. Don't add Ralph.
I went to LeBron James.
Very easy. Huh?
LeBron James
He said something
never
we
mind.
didn't even say. He didn't bring up nothing about Luka.
He's sounding
He didn't
real
bring up.
zesty right now.
No, he's not. No, he's
Real
not.
zesty right now.
I didn't
I
say
mean,
that.
Do
You
y'all
can say
think
that.
I can
Luka was good.
reschedule my airplane
And
ticket to
I'm gonna
LA
say,
for next year?
I'm gonna say with the offense with the Lakers though, I do felt like that with the ball out of LeBron's hands playing off ball. Uh, in this stage of his career, he's better on ball. And if Anthony Davis is there, he's going to have the ball in his hand. He's going to be more effective and have better impact with the ball in his hands. So if they run that pick and roll with Anthony Davis, that offense probably would have actually look a little bit better. Because if you look at LeBron, he was getting a lot of his buckets on backdoor cuts. I mean, he got the ball off ball. He scored he scored good, but I think his impact wasn't as good off ball than it is on ball in this stage of his career right now.
Hey, Ralph, you think they need to protect LeBron more during the regular season and cut his games played down to maybe 55?
No, I think they should bring down his minutes. I think they should
32 a game max, I think. 32 game max, I think. 8 minutes a quarter should be good enough for LeBron James.
But at the same time, it's like if you do that, where you gonna get that type of production with those extra minutes? Like
Dude,
you
don't
gotta
worry, Giannis
find
is
it.
going over there next
You're
year.
supposed to have Luka. You're supposed to have Luka. You're supposed to have Luka. LeBron James not supposed to be playing this, but you're supposed to have Luka.
What you said, Travis?
So Giannis is probably going there next year.
You can't. They not. How they gonna get Giannis?
They're going to trade their entire team, so there's only going to play 3 players at a time.
Yeah, they can't get Giannis. Their salary cap is going to be worse than
I know.
this
Giannis
year.
is definitely leaving.
Hey, Ralph, I thought it was no way they can get Luka. You never know.
I didn't.
They had to trade away the championship to get Luka.
For me, if Anthony Davis is there, I think the Lakers winning in 6.
Damn. Johnny, you going to take this? Hear all these zesties?
That's as zesty as they get. No, that's a zesty comment. That's the first zesty comment Ralph said right now.
Yeah. Zesty
Why?
because you don't
Why
agree
is
with
that?
LeBron. Because you don't agree with
it's a hypothetical. Okay, hold on. Because it's a
hypothetical.
It's a hypothetical. It's a hypothetical to create an argument that you can't prove.
Well, I mean, you're right, but like if I'm looking at like Rudy Gobert looked like Will Chamberlain last game. I don't know. Yo, 27 and 24 for Rudy Gobert was crazy.
Ralph, they played
crazy.
They played no center. They played no center at all. That's going to happen against any team that decides to not play a center.
Well, when they did that, they actually went small ball in game 4, and actually it was a close game. So they tried to mimic that, and the only adjustment I've seen that JJ Redick did in that game is I don't know why he did this, but he was running a 3-2 and a 2-3. That's like majority of the times he ran that 3-2, and that's the reason why Rudy Gobert went off the way he did because that 3-2,
I saw that 3-2.
That 3-2 is actually covering the perimeter. That's a defensive scheme to cover the perimeter, and that's why you see Rudy Gobert made them pay. And then you can't do that small ball because now you look at the Wolves big men, like why are you going to do that small ball? That doesn't make any sense. Rudy Gobert is taller than and his wingspan. Yeah, he's supposed to.
That's wrong, Ralph. I actually saw JJ adjust his seating position like a few times during the game, like the way he was sitting in his chair. So he made a few adjustments.
Oh man, but yeah, I mean that series. Oh god, I didn't think.
I'm so glad, dude. Now we got those clowns out of here. We can focus on these real series about to happen, dude. Like your Knicks are about to get slaughtered, so it's fine.
All right, now we ain't gonna be doing all that.
Oh yes, that's what I'm talking about. Because they were supposed to lose to Detroit.
Yeah, they got lucky because Brunson's a god.
But here's the thing: if you look at that series, they were holding on to the whistle like crazy, especially in third quarters of that series.
Good,
like,
let them play like men.
Even like that last challenge that we made where OG threw Dennis Schroeder on the ground. Like he was literally holding him, And when they didn't overturn it, I was like, I see what they're doing. They were holding on to the whistle.
Ralph, if I told you the Lakers restricted area defense was the best in the playoffs so far, would you agree with me or would you disagree with me?
The restricted, you mean the interior defense?
In the paint, protecting the rim. If I told you the Lakers at the rim protection defensive field goal percentage was the best in the playoffs, this playoff so far, would you think that I'm bullshitting or the stats not matter to you as well?
That's what it's saying. What was the interior?
Lakers within 6 feet of the rim, any shot taken within 6 feet of the rim, gave up about 32 shots at the rim at a 56.5%. That is the NBA's best for the playoffs. Second, Boston Celtics at 56.6. Houston Rockets, 57.2. Golden State Warriors, 57.9. Neither one of these teams have defensive anchors and anybody who can block shots at the rim. KCP. Detroit. Again, the Minnesota Timberwolves shot 56.5% at within 6 feet of the rim. Any shot that they took within the playoffs. That is the worst in the playoffs. That means the Lakers defended the basket better than any other NBA team in this playoffs thus far.
56%.
It probably look like they probably missed the ball back and dunk. They probably missed the ball back and dunk after shooting wide open threes.
It is a -6. Again, I am talking to Ralph, who brought up how the Lakers' interior defense would be an issue. I am bringing up how it wasn't. They are a -6.9, meaning that they were 6.6% better than average, which is actually the best amongst all playoff teams here. Besides Cleveland. I'm sorry. Cleveland has the best. Cleveland has it. No, my bad. Cleveland has it the worst. My bad. I'm sorry. They have it the best out of any playoff team here. So they protected the rim better than anybody else did in the playoffs versus the Minnesota Timberwolves without Anthony Davis.
Who was the worst?
The worst team as far as field goal percentage protecting the paint so far in the playoffs, as far as field goal percentage wise, was the Cleveland Cavaliers, but they only allowed it 18 times per game.
What was the percentage for them?
Useless stat for a gentleman's league.
I'm bringing. It's not a useless stat. It's not a useless stat. Y'all said that these are stats that affect winning, so obviously it doesn't affect winning. Obviously,
for them?
Obviously, doesn't. Obviously, this stat or this idea of how you win a basketball game or why Julius Randle was was one of the effective reasons, which I give it to Ralph. Julius Randle did play better than his norm when he did show up in this series as well, but it wasn't because they were attacking the basket as usual. Again, the Lakers lost because of their offense. But again, the Cleveland Cavaliers. You asked me a question, Ralph. Let me answer before you had these SD Jeffries deserve you. They were giving up 18 shots per game within 6 feet of the rim, which is the least amount here. So that means they were allowing people getting to the paint the least amount, as far as getting close to the restricted area, which is within 5 feet, whatever. But they were allowing that at 75%. So the team was scoring at 75%. The Heat scored 75% of the time when they shot a ball within 6 feet of in the paint. That's against Cleveland. Okay. But again, the Lakers had the number one defense when we're talking about defending the rim or at the rim in the playoffs. Just this playoff, just the 5 games.
Well, I mean, 56 is still good. It is the best in the playoffs, but it's still good. And a lot
not necessarily. No, the average is above 60, Ralph. The average is above 60.
The league average this year?
Yeah, it's above average. The Lakers average is 63. But like Boston Celtics is 62.7. Houston is 59.6.
You talking about in the playoffs or in the regular season?
Yeah, this is compared to their regular season average. Let me make sure I click the field goal percentage. To the regular field goal percentage of the team, if I'm correct. So it's field goal percentage. So it's the regular team field goal percentage.
Field goal percentage in the regular season was what?
63.1. But I could double check that. Let me make sure that is that for the regular season as well. Give me a second. Let's see here. All right. So, all right. Yeah. For the regular season, it's that. So,
okay.
Hold on, wait. No. Wait. No. All right. No, for the Lakers, for the regulars, it's 62.9. But on average, on average, the best in regular season is 62.8 in the regular season, which is Boston and OKC and Cleveland. They have the best with 62.8. That's the field goal percentage average. But the best defensive field goal percentage for the regular season was Boston.
In that interior.
And we're still talking within 6 feet. It was Boston at 59.1, OKC at 59.6, Cleveland at 60.1, Detroit at 60.9, Dallas was at 61.1. Those are the top 5 teams.
All right.
And in the regular season, the Lakers were in the bottom tier, like around 20th at 63.6 for the regular season. But during this postseason, they were the best so far within the first round.
So it was 56. All right. Well, I mean,
Hey, Ralph. What if I told you that there was 4 teams in the playoffs who gave up over 50% shooting in the paint? Would you believe the Lakers are one of those 4?
oh wow.
Would you believe they're one of the 4 who gave up over 50% in the paint?
What stat is that, Brandon? Where can we find that at? Where can we find that stat at, Brandon?
I can see they gave up.
NBA.com. They gave up 50%.
You saying they gave up 50% in the paint?
In the paint. The Lakers was one of the 4 teams who did that.
Man, let's look it up.
I bet you my Knicks is on that list.
That's pretty damn obvious. Let me see.
We go 50 things by zone.
There was 3 teams who gave up over 16 points on fast breaks. The Lakers are one of those 3.
Brandon, you said in the paint, Brandon? Did you say in the paint?
Points in the paint. Opponents points.
Okay.
In the paint.
All right. The teams that gave up over 50% shooting in the paint by NBA.
Second chance points. Lakers was the worst.
Hold on.
I do believe that because they got beat on the boards consistently.
Oh yeah, they got crushed.
And that was another reason.
So points in the paint are giving up in a field goal percentage just in the paint, which is the non-restricted area. So that means we're not counting the actual restricted area. This is non-restricted area. So this is removing the actual paint itself, the actual at the rim. This is the Lakers. The Cavaliers are the worst at 59. The Lakers are the second worst at 50.5. The Memphis Grizzlies are at 50 and even. Then the best team at it is the Orlando Magics at 34.8. They lost 4-1. So that means it's not effective towards winning. You guys keep bringing up stuff that's not effective towards winning.
Orlando,
hold on. Are you talking about how they were so effective in the paint? You're contradicting yourself now, buddy.
No, I said within 6 feet. You brought it outside of 6 feet.
Sounds really zesty right now.
Sounds like that's
because yours is the same
you
thing.
Switched the topic. You went to another topic. That's as zesty as they get. You didn't stick to the topic. We brought up what Ralph said. Ralph said protecting the rim, protecting the interior. That's what Ralph said. If we go, let's go by range. If we go by within 8 feet of in,
it's pretty obvious that they got destroyed.
Wait. Within 8 feet they're in, the Lakers are top 5 in the playoffs. They're at 56.4. So that's the paint. See, we don't want to count that. That's including the restricted area. That's including the paint. 8 feet is 2 feet away from the dotted line.
Well, if we're talking about within the paint,
let me stop. Okay, so let's do this. No, because see, they don't have it, Ralph, where I can just do it within 10 feet or in. Because that's what I'm trying to. They have it by zone. So if we're gonna do zone, they have restricted.
Don't they got 15 in?
They don't. You know what? You know what?
Yeah, I believe they do.
Come on now.
No.
15 in.
Ralph, they have 5 feet in, right? But listen. They have it from 5 feet in, but they have it from less than 5 feet. Then they have it from 5 to 9 feet. Then from 10. Again, if we go to the paint by zone, it says in the paint, non-restricted area. That's counting that's outside of the non-restricted area. That's not counting the restricted area.
Either way,
which is within,
it's the paint area.
No, it's not. That's within, because you're taking
area.
3 feet away. So now you're
So
taking
they-
outside of 6 feet.
You're in
they
the
got
paint.
5
You're
to
in the
9,
paint.
and then they got what?
Hold on, wait. I can do that. Hold on, wait. I can do. You know what? I can do it. My bad.
It's the paint.
Here we go.
Man.
My bad, Ralph. Here we go, Ralph. Within. All right, here we go. We can do it, Ralph. Are you willing to go with 10 feet, Ralph? Are you willing to go within 10 feet, Ralph?
That's
you are
close
trying to
the
make
foul
a
line.
deal.
That's within the
Ralph. No, you said. All right, Ralph, within 10 feet or within 15 feet? Which one do you want to do, Ralph?
Say that again.
Within 10 feet or within 15 feet? Which one you want to do? So we can make it the
15.
Okay, so within 15 feet. Let's go. This is the defensive dashboard.
15 feet to be outside the paint. 15 feet to be outside the paint. Come on now.
Well, that's foul line in.
All right, that's foul line. My bad, Ralph. My bad. Ralph. It's greater than 15 feet, so they don't have it. They have it. Listen, they have 3-pointers, 2-pointers, within 6 feet, within 10 feet, and greater than 15 feet. So we are you comfortable?
Well, let's go to 10. Let's go to 10.
Within 10 feet in today's NBA, the worst teams in today's NBA playoffs was the Cleveland Cavaliers, which swept the team, which again means that protecting the paint is not why you win or lose in today's NBA. The Miami Heat, who got swept, the Bucks, the Grizzlies, the Nuggets, who just won a series. The best teams, the top 5 teams, OKC, Detroit, Houston, Celtics, Golden State, the Lakers are right outside of the top 5 at 55.4% as the 6th team. So they're just outside of being the elite. They're just good. So even within the paint, they protect as well.
They showing up. They're doing it in the playoffs.
That's the playoffs. We're talking about it in the playoffs. This is the playoffs. I'm using numbers, not LeBron James quotes.
I'm using NBA.com points in the paint. They were the 4th worst.
Including the non-restricted area. I'm using within 10 feet, which is the paint, Brandon. That's 10 feet.
Do you know what the paint is?
So
do you know what non-restricted area means?
Do you know
apparently you don't.
The paint is.
You know what the paint is?
Okay, and exclude the non-restricted area. So exclude the non-restricted area.
Why would we exclude the non-restricted area? It's the paint.
That's the stat you went to go look up. You're looking up a stat that excluded. No, excluding, and it excludes the restricted area. And it excludes the restricted area. That's the point. It excludes within 3 feet of the rim. It says anything outside of 3 feet. That's what it's doing.
It does not say that. Points in the paint are in the paint.
Oh, here we go again.
Points in the paint are in the paint.
You go. That's what Zesty Jeffries do. That's what Zesty Jeffries do. They say I lie. They say I lie, but all I do is provide facts.
It includes the paint.
All I do is provide facts. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
You guys are like an old married couple, man. I love it.
No, we're gonna bring this up. We're gonna bring this up.
Hey, y'all come here to Go James Kingdom. You can't disagree with the host. They have no problem with it because the hosts disagree all the time.
Let's go here. Let's bring up Hollywood Herm. Hollywood Herm's in the building. Shout out to Hollywood Herm. Hold on, here we go. Don't worry. Like I said, I don't make shit up. I look shit up.
Salute to everybody.
Ralph, does that say restricted area as one section? Then in the paint, in parentheses, non-restricted area, meaning that this is the paint, not including the non-restricted area. That's why they're doing it by zones. There's the restricted area, there's the in the paint, non-restricted area, mid-range, corner 3. And this is, again, the NBA playoffs, 2005, and this is shooting. Now, I'm just showing you regular team shooting, but if we want to go to defense, like we said, if we want to go to opponents, we can go to, let me go here. Defensive dashboard. If we go here, within 10 feet, or that's greater than, am I correct? Greater than 15 feet, less than 10 feet, less than 6 feet, 2-pointers and 3-pointers. If we go to less than 10 feet, it clearly shows here the teams that are the best teams at it. The worst teams, the best team. Within 10 feet, the Lakers are right here at 55.4.
Trash.
Amongst teams that lost the playoffs, which the second best team at protecting the rim, lost in the playoffs.
The Lakers didn't need Anthony Davis.
Thank you.
I think they
you have now been exposed by the exposer.
No, I'm not. Wait, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to. This is not what I'm here to do with Ralph. Ralph had Brandon step up and put him in the fray. And what Brandon tried to do was use Ralph saying that they needed Anthony Davis for some interior protection And all I wanted to show was that the Lakers still had interior protection without Anthony Davis. So let's get to the crux of why the Lakers lost, not your theory about why you thought the Lakers were going to lose anyways in the first run. Yeah, because y'all all said the Lakers were going to lose prior to them facing Minnesota, not knowing who they were going to face, and the same logic was applied. Anthony Davis not being there and them having horrible perimeter defenders. That is not basketball analysis. That's hanging fruit stuff and close to zesty Jeffrey logic. That's all I'm going to say.
That's not the only thing. That's not the only thing. It's also, the second chance points, the rebounds. They were definitely missing Anthony Davis with that as well, because they got a lot of second chance points. They got a second opportunities on the boards and everything, which they didn't have the rebounding. They didn't. And that's where they missed them at as well.
Ralph, the Lakers were out rebounding them the first 3 games of the series. It was the last 2 games of the series that the Lakers stopped again because he stopped playing Jackson Hayes for some reason. He stopped playing his only big man. He stopped playing his only big man. That's it. He stopped playing his big man. That's crazy. Like, why would you stop playing your big man? That's ridiculous.
He was trying to make Rudy Gobert unplayable by going in that lineup.
And he fucked up. By doing that, you played right into Minnesota's hands because they're actually better because they can still defend, right? Without Rudy Gobert, right? They can still do that, and they're actually better offensively without Rudy Gobert on the floor. So you were supposed to leave Rudy Gobert on the floor because Jackson Hayes, for one, made your offense better, and because they were playing Rudy Gobert more, it would have made their offense worse. And you could have, again, you only needed Jackson Hayes for 15, 20 minutes a game. Nobody's saying Jackson Hayes is supposed to get 30 minutes, but you playing no big man and going with the same lineup for an entire half is why they coughed up they coughed up the last 2 games predicated on just that alone. And then you doubled down and started the next game with that same lineup. You couldn't score in the fourth quarter. They got outscored in the fourth quarter 136 to like 80 something, Ralph. The Lakers offense was putrid in the fourth quarter. Now you can say maybe it's because if y'all want to say that they were tired because they had to do so much defensively because they were missing their anchor or whatever, I can probably hear that. But you're not going to be tired if you give Vando his minutes, if you give Gabe Vincent his 20 minutes he was playing per season. You didn't even play Gabe Vincent, bro. Like, what were you doing? He completely panicked, Ralph. I've been saying this for days now. I've had several lives about this. They lost because they offensively could not get over the hump. That's really facts.
Why you just can't give Minnesota credit for making the Lakers change a lot of things that you saw them typically do in the regular season. Like I was telling you, Johnny, and telling other people as well, once teams were able to have a lot of film to go off of it and have a chance to schematically prepare for what the Lakers like to do, it was going to be difficult for the Lakers, bro, because the Lakers don't have the personnel to compete with those good teams like a Minnesota, even young teams like the Houston Rockets and things of that nature. The playoff basketball is totally different. In the regular season, when they was on the run that they was on, teams didn't have a lot to work on because that trade happened in mid-season. Teams didn't know what the Lakers were going to do coming into games. So they was hitting a lot of teams in the mouth because they wasn't prepared. But like I said, when NBA teams start to get film on you, the NBA teams, especially the good teams, are able to start creating a game plan for you. They go exploit those weaknesses. In Minnesota did a great job exploiting every weakness that B. Lee has mentioned, every weakness that Ralph has mentioned, every weakness that a lot of people was mentioning about the Lakers. Ever since that trade took place, Minnesota exploited those things. So we just can't sit up there and act like that the Lakers real deal, you know what I'm saying, didn't have issues. They had a lot of issues coming into the playoffs. It's just that a lot of teams didn't have an opportunity to exploit due to the mid-season trade and not having a lot of film to work with. So what Minnesota did, they exploited all those weaknesses game by game. The corner three was available for them at will. That was there for them at will. The Lakers could not stop penetration for us that ball handlers get into the rim at will. They was able to penetrate the Lakers defense and was able to get a lot of good shots off. That's just the reality of it for the Lakers offensively. Minnesota made adjustments as well, especially after those two great games for Luka. They made their adjustments to basically make Luka work a little harder. We gonna stop his penetration. We gonna have a lot of help on him, and we gonna neutralize Austin Reeves the whole series with one of our better perimeter defenders. And their versatility showed as well. They was able to switch 1 through 4. So I mean, honestly, Minnesota was just a better team in the first place. We just gotta get Minnesota their just due, and the Lakers got a lot of holes they have to fill if they going to compete on a high level. That's why we have to take one game at a time. That's why we really got to analyze things before we jump off the rail like you did, Johnny. You kind of jump off the rail. You kind of didn't want to acknowledge the weaknesses that they did have, despite of their winning success in the regular season. That's all that took place.
Whatever, Herm. It's going to be Parade on Crenshaw next year. I don't want to hear your bullshit.
Go ahead, Ralph. You was going to say something. No, don't respond to T Perfect. Don't respond to T Perfect. Go ahead, Ralph. Please don't respond to T Perfect. Stop it, Travis. Go ahead, Ralph. You had something to say. Ralph, you there? Did you have something to say?
Hey, no. I was actually I can't remember, but Herm, he actually hit a lot of that stuff on the nose.
No, he didn't, because at the end of the day, what the Lakers were doing for the teams to figure out, the Lakers stopped doing during that playoff series. And they didn't do it because something that Minnesota did. It was just something that JJ Redick decided to do. There was nothing within the game plan, nor within the actual team that Minnesota had, whether it was physicality-wise or anything, that forced the Lakers to change up what they were doing to be successful during the regular season. No one would have foresaw anybody for the first time in NBA history not switching anybody in a second half of an NBA playoff game. So that's something that no one could have ever foresaw. We could have never foresaw that they would have ran away from the entire offense that they were talking about. Again, he said, let's give praise to the Minnesota defense, and brought up them shooting corner 3-pointers. Again, the Minnesota defense did do a brilliant job. The reason they were able to do a brilliant job was because the Lakers relied more on the ISO ball of LeBron James and Luka Doncic, while the Minnesota Timberwolves had solid perimeter defenders to keep the Lakers from taking advantage of ISO basketball. He never made the adjustment. They never put their best screener on the floor to help their ISO players get better separation from their defenders. And if we want to bring up three-point shooting as a catalyst to why somebody was winning, the Lakers not only shot better from corner three-pointers, they shot more corner three-pointers than the Minnesota Timberwolves. So the Minnesota Timberwolves, again, did not win due to their offense. They won due to their defense. They played great defense. I'll give it to them, because the Lakers' offense was putrid. If that's what you want to give them credit for, yes, let's talk about how good they played defensively. Let's talk about how solid Julius Randle was defensively on LeBron James, making it tough for LeBron James to create and get his own shot off. Let's talk about Naj Reid being able to switch on to Luka Doncic and cover Luka Doncic on crucial plays and crucial moments of the games when the Lakers were trying to take advantage of him. Let's give Rudy Gobert the actual praise that he deserves for when he was called, that he was able to dominate and play on the boards the way he can play on the boards, while the Lakers had nobody to rebound. The Lakers had nobody who could actually get to the basket and cut to the basket. Finney Smith, Hachimura, and Reeves were used as spot-up shooters so that LeBron James and Luka can actually get to the rim. So they were not cutting to the basket. They're not great screeners. They're not good rim runners. They're good at the dunker spot, but they weren't even playing the dunker spot, because to play the dunker spot, you need to play pick and roll basketball. The Lakers stopped playing pick and roll basketball. Everything the Lakers did to be good during the regular seasons, they did not do in the NBA playoffs. So whatever strategy teams caught up on by watching film had nothing to do with what happened in this series. So let's just give Minnesota credit for playing great defense. Let's just realize that JJ Redick made a rookie coach mistake by being stubborn and not really making the adjustments that were necessary, and they lost the series.
It's a great take.
Well, Man, T perfect, man.
Me too.
You gotta get your mind right. You gotta get your mind right, man. But
oh, and Wall Street Brandon, you can show up here because Brandon needs your help. I want two Brandons today. I want the white Brandon and the black Brandon.
But Brandon was right though. Brandon was trying to get you to see the light, man.
You're right. Brandon was right. The Lakers played better defense because they played harder without Anthony Davis. He's completely right. They played way better defense without Anthony Davis. That's a fact.
I don't know about that.
That's a fact. You want me to bring up the numbers, Ralph? You want me to show you the numbers? You want me to bring up the numbers to prove it to you? Because I'm not gonna be talking numbers. Y'all know who I am up in here. Y'all know me, brothers. Come on now. Y'all know who this is. Pay attention. Let's let a GOAT James Kingdom member in the building. Let's give a shout out to my boy Wes. I don't know about that. MJ, give me a second as I got to put a GJK member ahead of you. Shout out to West Coast, who's always
West Coast. I
yes,
gotta hear his take.
Why y'all be hating on West Coast, man? West Coast is real.
I love West Coast. He's the ultimate glazer.
He's on Brandon's side as well.
Yeah.
He's on Brandon's side as well.
I am the Glazer. Yes. Good afternoon to y'all because I'm on the West Coast, so
Brandon
I'm in the morning still.
Reinforces.
But yeah, good afternoon to you, gentlemen.
Brandon and Searcher reinforces back there. That head is down, looking deep into Basketball Reference and NBA.com. He's looking deep for something. That's good. Good job, Brandon. But go ahead. My bad, West Coast.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful Sunday, man. LeBron James is the greatest basketball player of all time. He has the most sweeps. He swept the most teams in NBA history. He's led a 3-1 comeback. The man has developed his game. I don't know if you guys knew, but both Luka Doncic and LeBron just had their best free throw season by percentage together as teammates. Clearly, he helps elevate his teammates. He's helped elevate players like Kyrie Irving. He's helped elevate players like Anthony Davis to new heights. He's taken them from being either good or really good to greatness. He's given he's won a Finals MVP in 3 different cities. He's just different. He built different. He's accomplished different.
Man, talk about what happened in the playoffs, man.
You talk about the goddamn games or not?
Hold on. I do want to correct him. Now he shot the same percentage in 09 in front of free throw, so that's not true.
Oh, get schooled.
Oh, good job. See, look.
Oh, my bad. He tied it. My bad. He tied it.
Okay, go ahead, Brandon. Where did you find Brandon? Go ahead. Where did you find Brandon? Go ahead. Go ahead, Brandon.
How many points per game do you think the Lakers in 2002 when they swept the Nets scored in the paint? How many points do you think per game?
Did you say 2002, Brandon?
2002 with Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal,
Wait, 2000. You're talking about year 2002. You're talking about 23 years ago.
So,
66.
Okay.
Go ahead.
66. It was 42 points per game. I mean, points in the paint that the Nets gave up a game, and they got swept. Do you think that the Lakers gave up more to the Timberwolves or less? What do you guys think?
Just bringing up stats from 23 years ago to compare it to today.
They got more. They got
more. So they were like Shaq in the paint, shooting 56%. That's why they're saying Anthony Davis would have been better for that team. That's all I'm saying.
You're talking about an era that played in an era that played in 80s in the 80s pace, an era that played in the pace in the 80s.
Prime Shaq averaged 35 a game almost. Prime Shaq couldn't even
do
that.
In the pace of the 80s. In the pace of the 80s. What are you talking about? What does that have to do with today's basketball? Like I said, as zesty as they get, they reach for something that got nothing to do with the topic just to argue and to sound right with another man on the internet. That is as zesty as they get.
That's how bad it looked.
That's how bad it looked. He said that bad they look.
That's how bad they look. Like they were Shaq in the paint, scoring at will.
Well, they definitely messed up by like selling out on small ball. Like by them selling out on small ball, they're like for sure just like absolutely
set Shaq over LeBron on this thing. Let's go.
It's weird that they did it. It's just weird that they did it.
2025 Julius Randle instead of 2002 Shaq.
That's real shit though. That's real shit though. You know, Julius Randle and Naz Reid got better. Like,
Give me that. Give me that.
Give me
Let's
Nas Reid over Tracy McGrady.
let Twin Man get in here. Shout out to Twin Man and GJK, man. But peace and blessings, brother, man. So what you got for us, man? What you got for us today? You hear the conversation, brother.
So on the actual topic, first things first. Good afternoon, brother. How y'all doing today? So on the actual topic, should LeBron James retire? Honestly, yeah, why not? What is there really left for him to do? I mean, the game will definitely miss him. YouTubers will definitely miss him because a lot of dudes is gonna be broke because they ain't gonna have LeBron James to talk about every day anymore. But if we're gonna actually talk about the series, I'm sorry, Brandon, I disagree. Like, the defense wasn't the issue; their offense was just terrible. Like, I understand. Now let me say this. I understand exactly what you're saying with Anthony Davis. Would he have helped rebounding wise and guarding the rim? Absolutely. But they still had a pretty decent defense. It's just that they couldn't get the offense fired. That's just what I saw. So I both of y'all actually are making solid points. That's why I'm like, I was listening in the beginning. I'm like, why are they're arguing and they're both have a point. But if we're gonna talk about what actually happened in the series, it was the offense. They couldn't generate enough points, which was sad because you have two of the best offensive players on your team. So them not being able to actually score the ball the way they should have been able to score really hurt them. But I think the defense was fine. They played enough defense to beat this team. They just didn't have enough offense, bro. But I understand Anthony Davis. He's better at protecting the rim. He would have helped with the rebounding. So I do agree with that. But overall, they just didn't generate enough offense, bro.
Hey, Twim, I got a question. If you replace Luka with Anthony Davis, if he was healthy, of course, do you think the Wolves would have still won?
Honestly, yes.
Okay.
I think the Timberwolves still could have won the series. It's predicated on it wasn't even. Let's be real. You have played Julius Randle. The role players stepped up and hit their shots. Like, it wasn't just them getting to the rim. They hit their shots. Again,
Wait, I have
if the Lakers, yes.
Okay, building on what Brandon said, if you were to replace Luka with Prime Kobe, who's the actual GOAT, do they win that series?
Okay, T Perfect, don't start with me.
Hold on. Before we go here, the Los Angeles Lakers in the 2002 playoffs was second in field goal percentage in the paint. The Timberwolves were second to last in field goal percentage in the paint in this playoffs. So yeah, I'd rather have Shaquille O'Neal, even though he scored the same amount of points as them. He was way much more efficient in the paint than them. So yeah, I'll take that. Go ahead, Twin Man.
But back to what I was saying. Like, I think they still would have lost this series because it wasn't about the superstars in this series. The role players for the Timberwolves stepped up tremendously. They got excellent production from the bench. The Lakers really didn't get a lot from the bench, and they really just showed up. They showed up when it counted. They hit timely shots. It was a lot that went into it. But the Lakers' offense is what really, in my opinion, lost this series. They really couldn't generate enough points. Luka didn't play his best basketball. I mean, you had games where, like, you didn't really see any production from anyone else outside of LeBron and maybe Austin Reeves. And then it was like they just couldn't put it all together. And the game, hold on.
Oh, hell.
True.
Listen. The game that they won, all three of them were able to put it together offensively and defensively. Austin Reeves, Luka, and LeBron actually were able to put it together. They actually got some production from the role players. But the games that they lost, you didn't see that. It was either Luka went off and LeBron was right there, but they got no production from the bench. They got no production from the role players. So again, they lost because they just didn't have the offensive production that they.
Yeah, their bench average only 7 points.
They were giving you in the regular
season. Hold on, Austin Reeves was terrible.
That was crazy.
Hey, hold on, y'all got it. Hold on, you gotta wait, MJ. We gotta let Twin Man finish getting his take, and then go ahead,
my
Rob.
fault.
I mean,
No.
I watched the game. I'm just telling you what I saw. They didn't really have the offensive production you saw from the regular season. Like you would see them, all three of them would normally get.
Hold on. First off, listen, you guys don't get to come up here as non-GOAT James Kingdom members and tell a GOAT James Kingdom member how long they can speak for. You want to speak? Become a member of the channel. We let you up here just like all the other members are. If not, put some in the super chat. We'll address you quickly. If not, sit in the background, be patient. We're not going nowhere. We're going to allow you to speak just like everybody else. But you do not have the right to rush any GOAT James Kingdom member. Twin Man can speak as long as he wants to. And he can be addressed by anyone here that's in the panel, because that's why we have these people here. So if you are in the background, please be patient and we'll let them speak. Please be patient. Right?
I'm saying he just
go ahead,
saying it over and over and over. Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
That's fine. He pays to say things over and over again. We don't mind listening to him saying over and over again. Get your channel, get you some members, and you can hear them tell you things over and over again. Please.
I believe the Lakers offensively didn't do what they needed to do in the regular season. They were actually able to get offensive production from not just from their three best players, but also from the bench and also from a lot of the role players. They just didn't get that. Dorian Finney-Smith didn't really give you what he gave you. Gabe Vincent didn't give you nothing. Rui Hachimura really didn't give you anything. Goodwin didn't really give you anything. You didn't get anything. And then Jackson and then Hayes was really unplayable for the entire series for size if you needed him for rim protection and rebounding. Vando, he was kind of unplayable. So again, like they really didn't get a good team effort out of the Lakers. You just didn't see it. So I believe the Timberwolves would have won either way, because if you get the same offensive effort, it doesn't matter who's on the team. From your role players, you're not gonna win. So,
my God. Okay,
I do
go ahead,
want to address
Ralph.
this. Actually, Austin Reeves was not good in this series. He
wasn't. I agree with that. He wasn't.
He didn't play well. He didn't play well.
But at the beginning, he did say from the three best scorers on the team, which Austin Reeves was one.
No, he said about game 2. He said he said at game 2. He said in game 2, all three of them had it going on.
I said game 2, they was able to put it all together for the one game that they won. But I said for the series, he didn't play well. Only two players that really played well for the Lakers was Luka and LeBron. That's really it.
The last two games, Rui definitely performed very well, and Austin Reeves was a no-show. Like he was all. But
Ralph, hear me out. If you look at what they did in the regular season, if you look at what they did in the regular season and what happened in the playoffs, you were getting really good production from Dorian Finney-Smith. Really good production from the bench. You were getting better production from Rui. You were actually able to play Hayes. You see what I'm saying? You was actually able to put Gabe Vincent in and rotate Vanderbilt in. They couldn't do that in this series.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but you're playing so many teams in the regular season. Now you're playing a team that you're playing consistent. So it's going.
I hear what you're saying, but what's really the only big move the Wolves did? They got Julius Randle. You gave up Cat and got Randall. That shouldn't have been a big difference for them. They dominated the Wolves in the regular season, and then you turned around and got Luka.
Hold on, two man. Let Ralph respond. Let Ralph respond. Go ahead, Ralph.
What I'm saying is, like, now they're facing what they did in the regular season. I'm not taking away from what they did. Their job is to elevate their game going to the playoffs, and it's completely different because now you're playing them on a consistent basis to where they have chances to actually make adjustments and everything. Like with Austin Reeves, from day one, it really wasn't an adjustment situation. All they did was actually play really good defense on him, and he wasn't able to produce like he did in the regular season because he's facing a team that has better perimeter defenders than the average team. And then on top of that, you're looking, and yes, they did what you said. They did replace Randall for Cat, but to be honest, Randall plays bully ball. They didn't have that type of player to actually guard him. They didn't.
That's true.
That's why.
I'm gonna be honest, Ralph, real quick. I'm gonna be real. That shouldn't have mattered. Because again, if the offensive production is there, if you're getting what they gave you in the regular season, I'm not even talking about from LeBron, Reeves, and Luka. If the role players gave you what they gave you in the regular season, I think the Lakers could have won this series.
But we weren't going to get that. We weren't going to get that. We weren't going to get that. We're not going to get that.
That's not going to happen in the playoffs. It's the playoffs. Like
if you don't play him, it don't matter. It don't matter.
Because you have Luka in there guarding like probably the worst defender when Austin Reeves should have been guarding that player. So that makes a mismatch for Austin Reeves on the other end as well. So Austin Reeves is like unplayable at times because he's guarding someone 6'9" now instead of guarding the smallest player on the court. So they just had a better team to fit what the Lakers was trying to do, and the Lakers did not make the appropriate adjustments, and they didn't manage the time.
That's also very true.
They just didn't.
Hold on. Let's yeah, we got a lot of folks in the background. Hold on. Let's let some other folks talk.
Can I get my take?
Yeah, MJ, that's why I got you here. You up here. It's your turn, brother. Go ahead. What's your take?
LeBron had 0 in the fourth.
Okay.
All right, Mr. I am him. You're gonna get a chance to praise LeBron James as much as you want to, brother. Trust me, we know all you want to talk about is LeBron James. MJ, go please.
Okay, my take was if they'd had Anthony Davis and that one kid still here, they probably would have swept Minnesota. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because you know y'all, it's funny, but I gotta, you know. Nah,
it's funny. It's motherfucking funny. It's
Luka did his job because even though he was getting torched, he gave us leads and he kept us in the game. So when it came for our turn, it's like all us on the panel and we played, and Luka gave us leads like that one game when we had a 7-point lead, and then we choked in the third quarter in the first game, and they just whooped our butt. He did his point, and then Reeves and LeBron, they didn't give us nothing in that first game, and we got beat. Then the second game, we finally blew them out. Third game, we win it again, and then basketball, it doesn't matter. Look, and my man, you know it. We could play the worst game. Let me give you an example. I hate the Bulls, and I'm from Illinois, but the Bulls won games when they shot 35 times out of 72 shots, and they still won the game. You know why? They kept getting rebounds. They'll miss the dude to get the rebound. Jordan will miss again, get the rebound again. Jordan will miss again, and then get a three. That's going to be killing the Lakers. So Minnesota, they kept getting so many rebounds, and they was killing the Lakers. And then it went down to the last minute. It's like the Denver series. Y'all know in the Denver series, it'll go down to the last 4 minutes. Now, here it go. What star is going to take us to the promised land? And what bench player gonna get a rebound or a stop or block shot for us? Nobody. Then that third game, look, that fourth game, when your boy Smith hit that three, we up 113, 111. Okay, I'm telling my friend, okay, we got him. I think we got him. 128 left. Minnesota called timeout. The dumb coach. Here he go. Y'all favorite glorious coach. That's LeBron James. I know you LeBron James fans on here. LeBron James coach. That's his boy. He picked him. I thought he was going to put Vandy in the game and another defensive player in the game for Reeves and, your boy, because I thought when I was watching the Golden State game, that was the coach did for Golden State. They took the point guard out, put a defensive player in to try to stop Houston. That's how they beat Houston in that one game. They was playing defensive offense, and the coach, if he would have changed, we probably would have got a stop, which we did get a stop, even though them two white boys was in the game. They missed the shot, got the ball back, got another shot, got to get a dunk.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm lost. Hey, LJ.
I'm just giving if you watch the game, I'm just showing you the game come down to the last 2 or 3 minutes of a game. I don't care if you playing with me, my brother. and you playing sorry, you still could win the game for me. It doesn't matter if you got 0 points, but if we still close or tied or up with 2 minutes left, it comes down to the stars now. And I'm sorry, he burnt our stars out every game. They had 0 points. Your GOAT, James, 0. Third game, fourth game, 0 point in the fourth quarter. In the last game, 3 points. That means his legs was gone, and his dumb coach, when we had that 10-point lead, that's when he should have had gave LeBron James that rest for 3 or 4 minutes, and we probably could have had him for the last minute.
Like you want to snap, man.
And he could have probably took his own. I'm just saying, man.
MJ,
it's just simple. I don't know what y'all saying.
All right, MJ, we didn't have shit. We didn't have Anthony Davis. You said we would have swept Anthony Davis. We didn't have shit. Listen, are you the guy? Wait. No, MJ.
You said that already. You said that already.
MJ, are you the guy that they got clippers saying that the locker room, this is the locker room he talking about you right now? Is that your voice? They got clips saying that?
Yeah. I went at him the other day. I went at him the other day because he was trying to take him. I'm just saying, we don't like the
fake Laker fans. Just say it.
We don't like to get mad. We don't like to get mad at our favorite player, y'all favorite player, if he don't play right, bro.
Okay.
And he played good, but he's the GOAT. He's your GOAT, right?
Yeah,
LeBron James, your GOAT.
Mr. Itzham is going to tell us about LeBron James because y'all love LeBron James. Y'all love to speak about him more than Brandon and I could ever. So Itzham, it's your turn. The mic is here. You've been very patient. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, man. Should LeBron retire? Nah, but he should get away from the Lakers. Like him and his son, bad luck. Should take him and relocate their family back to Cleveland, riding the sunset of sun. This series was bad. He got bullied all game by Julius Randle. We was praying on niggas was screaming for Jackson Hayes to save the day. Y'all niggas is delusional.
All right, so Kobe fan. So Kobe fan. What was wrong with the Lakers?
They couldn't rebound. They was too small. We knew that was going to happen before that, though.
Thank you.
But people want to act like LeBron could anchor defense. Him and Luke could rebound everybody. Nah, it's not happening. We knew that was going to happen.
Was the Lakers a good rebounder at any point in time?
What you mean? We talking about playoffs or regular season?
At any point in time in the past year or two, were the Lakers a year or two, the year after that?
Were they a good rebounding team?
Were there ever a good rebounding team?
The last 3 years?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
So you want to pick from 200 and some games?
When were y'all? Okay, when were y'all ever a great rebounding team?
Nah, niggas was never like crazy rebounding team. Why you say that?
Because you said something about rebounding is why you lost.
Yeah, I said they got out rebounded. Yeah, they got out rebounded.
Okay, so what does that have to do with winning or losing?
Because in basketball, usually rebounds win championships.
Rebounds win championship.
You never heard of that?
I've never heard of that. I've heard
never heard of that? Oh yeah,
I've heard. No, I've heard people say points win championships. I've never heard anybody.
You've heard.
Out of anybody you see talk basketball, who praises rebounding more than me?
How you think your Miami team won against San Antonio?
Again, answer my question, Ralph. I know you know this answer because I'm gonna go to you first. Ralph, out of anybody you see talk about rebounds and praises rebounds, who praises rebounds more than me?
Me.
Thank you. Only one person. There you go. Appreciate
LeBron's
that,
not the same 40-year-old man. He can't carry the team the same way. So I think he should just lead a team and let the Lakers build around Luka. He rides to a sunset, man. He got nothing else to play for.
Okay.
He ain't really doing nothing.
All right, so Kobe fan said it best. The Kobe fan said he's tired of LeBron and his fans hogging up the Lakers circle. He wants.
I'm a Kobe fan too.
I'm not gonna lie. That is some verbal gymnastics. That's crazy. Who said it like Kobe? Who said it like Kobe? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, because for anybody to say that LeBron James should get off of the Lakers has to be one or two.
He should though. Bro, it's better for his life. No. He wants to just live his life in Cleveland with his son. That's not wrong with that.
I think
and where did you get that from? Where did you get? Hold on, where did you get? Where LeBron fans? Where LeBron's fans? LeBron James fans, biggest fans. We've never heard LeBron wants to be in Cleveland. Where did you hear LeBron wants to be in Cleveland?
He should do that for himself as a grown man. He should take his son and be like, "Hey, man,
why?
This what I make." You know, just because it's a good life.
Why?
Cleveland's it's a nice place, bro.
So are you a Lakers fan or not a Laker fan?
No, I'm a Lakers fan. I'm a Lakers fan. I just think Braun should chill out.
Exactly. You're a LeBron fan.
You telling me Bronny not taking up a roster spot? He not taking a roster spot up for no reason?
Let's
James might take up another roster spot.
You said the locker room. You said the locker room. He want he's a LeBron James fan. He said he want LeBron off the Lakers.
Yeah, let's just
okay. All right. The motel room's not a Laker fan. That's why. Go ahead, continue. Let's go ahead, Brandon. It's your turn. Go ahead with your lives. Continue.
Yo, Herm, you know what it is, Herm.
First of all, no, I heard what you said. So first of all, what multiple people have said on this show is a blatant lie. The Lakers' defensive rating in the series against Minnesota was 119. No team in NBA history has won a playoff series with a defensive rating that bad. So defense was the issue, number one. Okay. Number two, if Anthony Davis had played, the Lakers would have won the series for three reasons. Number one, the Lakers got crushed on the boards. The Lakers got crushed on the boards for two reasons. Number one, they had no size, but number two, they had to play zone. And when the Lakers played zone, they couldn't rebound. Minnesota had 65 offensive rebounds in 2 games. You can't play man, you're playing zone. You can't rebound in zone. You can't rebound when you're small. The other thing, and this is the point you miss when you say, well, the issue is offense. Defense generates offense. The Lakers' defense was such trash in this series, they generated no offense with their defense. They didn't get in transition. They got no easy points. So Anthony Davis owns Gobert. He owns Gobert. Anthony Davis averages almost 30 a game on 62% true shooting with the Lakers. Minnesota would have had to double Anthony Davis, would have opened up shooting for everybody, but the Lakers' defense would have enabled them to get in transition and get open points.
He's cooking, y'all.
Okay? The Lakers, hold on. The Lakers' defense has been better with Anthony Davis every year. It was better in 2024. It was 7 points better with Anthony Davis than without him. It was 9 points better in 2023 with Anthony Davis without him. One final point. You guys are all cooking yourselves when you say the Lakers offense wasn't good enough, because the main reason why the Lakers offense struggled is because LeBron James cannot play at a high level off the ball. He doesn't work as a second or third option. He doesn't work with Luka. So the reason why LeBron James has played 22 years in the NBA. He's never once had the number one offense in the NBA. Jordan played 15 years with Chicago. He had the number one offense 7 years. LeBron can't play off the ball. He can't play in a system. That's why he destroyed Chris Bosh and Kevin Love's career. They got reduced to corner three-point shooters. LeBron and Luka do not work because neither one of them can play at a high level off the ball or play in a system. LeBron is cooked. He's not good enough to be a first option, and he can't play at a high enough level off the ball to win as a second or third option. The Lakers' best chance to win a title next year is to buy that motherfucker out and get him off the team.
Yes. Brandon is cooking. He's fucking cooking.
Okay.
Brandon cooks.
Good shot, brother.
Send him to Cleveland. Send him to Cleveland, nigga.
Yeah, I got to go back to Cleveland.
Nigga, send him to Miami. Go play with Pat Riley again.
All right, yo, hey Johnny, hold on, hey Johnny. Let me just say something to Brandon real quick. The reason why you roll the dice though and you move AD, bro, is because of this. I agree with you. If AD is healthy, they probably do whoop the Wolves' ass because the team can play big. They can play differently. They can rebound. But the problem is this. When you run AD out there, when you run AD out there as your first or second best player, you run the risk of him getting hurt in game and missing the whole game or being out for the series. That was the risk. That was the bad with the good with AD. AD's only getting older as well.
You guys cannot take Anthony Davis and put him on a 50-win Laker team that won 50 games because he wasn't on the team. The Lakers are not facing the Minnesota Timberwolves if they have Anthony Davis. They're not even making the play-in. They're going to be out of the playoffs. They're not making the playoffs. Anthony Davis would have got hurt. Anthony Davis would have got hurt. We know he did get hurt, so I'm not making it up.
Wait, LeBron would have missed the playoffs this year?
Yes, without Anthony Davis, without AD, yes, they would have missed. Of course, they're going to miss the playoffs.
Of course,
it's hypothetical, like you told me earlier.
That's not. No, it's not hypothetical, Ralph. He actually did get hurt. Ralph. Anthony Davis actually did get hurt. Again, if he stays, he gets hurt anyways. You can't tell me he doesn't get hurt. He's hurt. That means they're not making the playoffs with him. We do know that. He got hurt.
He got hurt on the
Oh, so now,
we don't know if that would have happened on the Lakers.
Oh, so now your hypothetical has to be no. But that's what I'm saying. But my hypothetical is real. My hypothetical is real.
What? That doesn't make sense.
Yes, because your
hypothetical is
your
real?
hypothetical is predicated on nothing. Because for one, again, if we go, wait, y'all all said this nigga was cooking. If we go to the Memphis Grizzlies, who was third in rebounding in the playoffs, they lost their series, got swept. Detroit, fourth in the playoffs in rebounding, got swept. Lost in the playoffs. Milwaukee was sixth in the playoffs in rebounding and got swept. You're not winning because you're out rebounding teams, or you're one of the best rebounding teams in the playoffs. Again, you're not winning if you're only averaging 100 points per game. The only two other teams that average less points than the Miami Heat, than the Los Angeles Lakers in the playoffs, were the Miami Heat and the Orlando Magic. Two bad offensive teams. So the Lakers were playing at the equivalent of one of the worst offenses in basketball. That's what the Lakers
LeBron's
were.
That's
not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying.
Hold up, guys.
What I'm saying.
Hey, Ralph. Hey, hold on for one second. Like, we watched the series. We know that the Lakers are constantly playing defense. That's why they didn't get too many offensive possessions. So their defense was the issue. They were not scoring. All right, go ahead, Ralph.
What I was saying is, like, you're saying that if Anthony Davis is there, they're not making the playoffs. Early in the show, you just told me it was a hypothetical. I couldn't say nothing, and I conceded to that. That's the same thing. That's the same equivalent. That's a hypothetical because he wasn't on the Lakers for the rest of the season, so we don't know if they would have.
But he did get hurt. And that was why.
That was with the Mavs.
That's why.
That was with the Mavs.
Yeah, he would have got. No, he was hurt on the Lakers. But remember, he got traded hurt. He hurt the same leg. He hurt the same injury again. So he would have rushed to come back to help the Lakers stay in playoff run, and he would have got hurt. Just like he rushed back. The same way he rushed back to help Dallas make a playoff run and got hurt again. He would have did the same thing for the Lakers.
One more thing on AD, bro. Just one more thing on AD. Here's the thing people need to realize when it comes to AD and the Lakers. When they won the chip in 2020, everything after was just us running it back and forth with LeBron and AD. It was not going to happen again. The team needed change. You needed to move the roster around and change the formula up. Not only because you want to win a title, but because you want to make the future sweeter as well. So when that deal lands on your lap of Luka for AD, someone who not only constantly gets hurt, but it matches up badly against the best player in the Western Conference in Nikola Jokic year after year after year in the playoffs, you do something different. You pull the trigger on that trade. That had to happen.
But
I'm not arguing about the trade. Go ahead, Herm.
Yeah, I was
white boy.
West Coast. I was gonna tell you though the reason they made it because they're trying to secure their future with a franchise player. I think that was a huge gamble because I don't think Luka go resign as a Laker. I think he's gone, but
Herm, I'll bet you money he resigns. Stop it.
He can't get that Supermax. He can't get the Supermax.
He ain't turning down that $52 million.
Let's keep this moving. Ishmael's in the building. Shout out Ishmael. GJK member. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, y'all. Peace to the channel. So I'm going to have to agree with B. Lee on some of these things. I'm not saying that in terms of agreeing with Anthony Davis per se, but I kind of agree because JJ Redick already said in interviews that the Lakers defense is suffering from rim protection. He already said this. So it's like, I don't know how you can really argue against it. And from my own eyes,
Ishmael, nobody's arguing that the Lakers have rim protect. They don't have an elite rim protector, but they still could protect the rim. That's what you guys fail to realize. You guys keep making it seem like the Lakers defense has been inefficient without it. But go ahead. No, because stop saying stuff that I never said. I'm not arguing about Anthony Davis being a rim protector. Nobody said Anthony Davis cannot protect the rim. We said the Lakers defense would be better without it. Even with him being as elite as he is as a rim protector, they're still going to be better, and they were. Continue, Ishmael.
Nah, that's nasty work.
Whether better or not, the thing is like
don't say that. Don't say better or not, because that is my argument. So if you want to argue with me, don't defend Brandon, who's arguing with me about them being better, because that's the argument. I don't care if Anthony Davis is an elite rim protector.
The Timberwolves were Shaq in the paint.
No, they wasn't. No, they wasn't, because they shot way worse than Shaq in the paint. They shot way worse than the Lakers than Shaq in the paint.
56%.
And they killed us on the board.
And that was worse. That was worse. That was
killed us on the board.
in today's end. They didn't kill you on the boards. They out rebounded you by 2
Anthony
rebounds.
Davis. This is not about my Anthony. I'm just arguing I'm just saying the concept of it all is that the Lakers lost definitely because of their defense. Like that defense, like was very visible to see. Like it's just that, like, hey Johnny, I agree with the concept. Like they could be a better defensive team without Anthony Davis. They played team defense even with smaller lineups, only if they had the personnel. But they don't have the personnel to do so. Like Luka and Reeves were like, you visibly can see like the Minnesota Timberwolves were heavily attacking them, and then having 40, even though LeBron played great defense, it's not enough to be an elite defender in order to make a serious impact. Like
he was their best defender. He was their best defender.
He's 40 years old, and he's your defensive anchor. It's not great for the personnel. And then you got Rui Hachimura, who's like an average defender, and the only other great defender who's versatile is Dorian, right? Like Luka.
So why did they play such good defense? So why did they play such good defense, Ishmael? All these deficiencies on defense.
Season.
Why were they? No, in the playoffs. In the playoffs, they played good defense in the playoffs. They did. They wanted to show you fucking numbers. You've been talking to show you how by the numbers.
Nobody agrees with you, Johnny.
Nobody
agrees
with you.
Because I watched the games, man. They ain't
Show me the numbers. I think we play horrible defense.
I see the name every time.
Like Rudy Gobert had like it was players like Rudy Gobert had the best game of his entire life. That's why people were saying like Rudy Will Chamberlain.
What are you talking about?
Billy, bro, you mind if I share my screen real quick?
I'm not even finished talking.
Yo, Ish, that nigga Rudy Gobert last game turned into fucking.
Let Ishmael finish.
Come on, guys. Let Ishmael finish, guys. Come on.
It's like everybody was saying like it was Rudy was like, dude, I was on the Luka train and stuff, but I'm just trying to remain objective here. I'm not gonna say no nonsense that LeBron can't play off ball, but I'm just saying like the Lakers defense was very visible. And it's like they was getting cooked. Like you don't even need stats to say that. Like Danny McDaniels had the best game he had in the season. Like they weren't averaging these numbers.
Exactly.
Nas Reed, all
That's
these dudes was cooking.
Randall outplayed LeBron. That's crazy, bro.
You can't have a 40-year-old. You can't have LeBron James as your defensive anchor and your best defender in the series. You can't have that.
He's telling truth.
But that shit was but you know he was the best anchor going into the series though. So y'all had him
That's
winning.
not a good thing. Like
y'all had them winning, man.
Lakers.
Y'all had the niggas winning.
Lakers. What? He's speaking off the line.
Y'all had the niggas winning.
Here we go again. Lakers were top. Wait, Lakers. Here we go. Lakers top 5 in opponent field goal percentage.
Man, that's
Lakers top. No, in the fucking playoffs. In the fucking playoffs against Minnesota. They were top 5 in defensive field goal. The film tells me what the stats tell me, nigga. The Lakers play good defense, nigga. Don't tell me.
Nah, they ain't play good defense.
I'm gonna keep cooking you bitch ass niggas until you let me talk. Because I let y'all sit here and get all excited because motherfuckers love to lie. I have stats, not your lying ass eyes.
The stats lying.
How the stats lying, Herm? Your eyes are lying. You can't see the stats.
I think his stats are lying. It's not the stats don't.
I'll give him his credit.
No, shut the fuck up. Casual, answer this question. Opponent's field goal percentage is my stat. Answer my question, Casual. I'm not playing. Y'all want? You know what? Bye, Casual. Peace and blessings, brother.
I can't go off because
no, I ain't gonna kick him off because he's gonna answer my question, but he's going again. The only motherfucker who here can have this conversation with me is Brandon. Ralph knows how to speak to me. Herm and all the GJK members know how to speak to me. Casual, if you're gonna come up here and test me, make sure you know what the fuck you talking about. Opponent's field goal percentage is not a Johnny's stat. It is a defensive metrics by teams. It is a way to measure how effectively you guard a team. Just because the stat no longer fits your bullshit that you about to bring up for Anthony Davis's individual prowess, that doesn't affect his team defense. It's not going to prove shit about me talking the Lakers defense still played solid in the playoffs. Y'all not going to let me cook with numbers. Y'all want to talk bullshit. But Brandon said you could come back up. Go ahead.
All right.
You gonna put me down? What the fuck?
So hey Johnny, so
I was right there.
as well.
I was right.
So what was the positive about the Lakers defense?
What did
that
do?
What's the positive about the
Hey,
Lakers?
all right, y'all all talking.
there was
Let
some
Ralph
blown
go, and I'm
layups.
going to tell you. Let Ralph go, and I'm going to tell you exactly why the Lakers defense was good during this playoffs. Continue, Ralph.
Like I mean, the stats is the stats, but there's context with that as well
Don't tell you the
because
score,
there was some blown layups on that end too. So like it needs some context with it. I mean, like when I watched the games, I did not see good defense. I'm gonna tell you right
That's
now.
fine, Ralph. That's fine, Ralph.
All right, yeah, let's go ahead and let Castro get what he got in.
As I've always
Why
told
you on there
you,
with me?
as I've always told you, fine gentlemen, your eyes can only see what your mind can comprehend. Your mind cannot comprehend the Lakers having a solid defense of any kind because a Johnny says that without Anthony Davis. So you don't see it. As an example, the Lakers field goal percentage for the opponents was top 5. Minnesota was better than them. So I mean, the Minnesota defense was better than the Lakers defense, even though the Lakers defense played better. So that means the Lakers offense was worse. Field goal percentage for opponent field goal percentage, Lakers was top 4, better than even Minnesota. That's their field goal percentage. If we go to opponents rebounding, if y'all want to go there, then you can say this is where Minnesota outclassed the Lakers. They were one of the better teams against the rebounding, which means they kept the Lakers off the board. The Lakers were one of the worst teams when we're talking about letting people get on the boards and that, which we all know why, because they stopped playing their center, which I'm not going to say that was why they won or lost. They stopped playing their center because it was hurting their offense, not their defense, but eventually it also hurt their rebounding. Let's go to something else that y'all want to talk about. So if we go to points per game, the Lakers were 9th, which is middle of the pack in the NBA playoffs, right? So that means they were mid as far as points per game in the playoffs, and the Minnesota Timberwolves were 3rd. So again, that means the Lakers' offense was putrid. If we go look at how the Lakers' offense played, they were horrible. The Lakers were not good offensively. They were not getting their shots off. They were not finishing at the paint very well. Even when Luka Doncic got to the paint, they were still missing at the rim. The Lakers played bad offensively. If we go look at all the teams that like I said, that doesn't score in the playoffs, they're on the verge of losing in the playoffs, or they have already lost in the playoffs. As an example, if we bring up the Miami Heat, swept. We bring up Orlando, they lost. Memphis Grizzlies, they lost. Then you have the Warriors, who's right behind the Memphis Grizzlies.
We got swept. Grizzlies, we got swept, man.
On their way of losing. Boston is only averaging 106 points. They have one of the worst offenses in the playoffs, but they have the best off the defense in the playoffs. So their offense is good enough because their defense is completely solid. Then it's the Houston Rockets.
They play against the Magic.
I got what you're saying. The Magic has one of the best defenses as well and one of the slower paced teams in the NBA. But then it doesn't, again, but these are low scoring teams. But then you have Detroit, another team that lost. That's the point. Then again, the 8th team in the playoffs in scoring is Minnesota because the Lakers defense was good enough to at least make them the 8th team at 107 points per game. The Lakers could not play better. Now, whether you want to say their offense,
this is so bad.
No, listen. This is bad.
Well, I want to say.
Wait, how many times have we watched? Like, how many times we watched the Timberwolves get 5 offensive rebounds and hold the ball?
Only in game 5. Only in game 5.
Like that's the
only in game 5. You only saw it in game 5. It didn't happen in game 4. It didn't happen in game 3. It didn't happen in game 2. It didn't happen in game 1. That's facts.
Well,
I'm
gonna say that.
You just
said my mind can't comprehend.
Hey, hold on, guys. He just cooked himself. So it comes down to the best players on each team in the last 2 or 3 minutes of every game. So whoever best player come to play, that's who's going to win. And Minnesota, 2 best players won.
Let me continue what I was saying.
When I
said it was a lot of blown layup because you see Anthony Davis beat his defender off the dribble and drive to the lane. And he was really missing a lot of easy layups. That's what I said. And then you see Julius Randle as well when he drove.
You know that, Ralph. You know that there's stats for all of this. Okay, I'm just letting you know. But continue.
But I'm saying it's like I've seen a lot of that. A lot of times.
Exactly. Anthony had a bad series, not because of the Lakers' defense, right? No, that's funny.
No, because he was
somehow it was because of the Lakers' defense. It wasn't because of Austin Reeves who made him shoot bad. Because if I show you the matchup numbers between Austin Reeves and Anthony Edwards, it's positive. I guarantee it. Because I already watched it.
Wait, Johnny, question. Are you saying that the only game that the Timberwolves out rebounded the Lakers was Game 5?
And the manner that Brandon said they were getting 5 rebounds in a row. No. Listen, the Lakers after Game 3, the Lakers had out rebounded the Timberwolves in the series. After Game 4, when he went to that bullcrap idea of not putting Jackson Hayes on the floor at all, which is a part of you needing your rebounding, he's a part of your best rebounding. They lost that game in the rebounding by a couple of rebounds or 2 or 3. In Game 5, they got completely blown out of the water, which is why they have now a 4. I think they got 43 rebounds per game compared to Lakers 39. But that's only because of Game 5. If you take out Game 5 numbers, they only out rebound the Lakers by less than 1 rebound or something or 2 rebounds, some shit like that. The Lakers
37.
I
just looked up Game 5. It was 54-37.
Exactly. That's 17 different more rebounds.
You need to look at the fourth quarter numbers.
Right? So no, think about that, right? So 17 divided by 5 is what? 3 rebounds extra per game. So they went from averaging 1 rebound more per game to averaging 4 rebounds more per game because of 1 game. So that's what I'm saying. Yes, I agree with you. Game 5 was a complete horrible strategy. Rudy Gobert dominated because they had no center. LeBron, DFS, Hachimura, nobody was going to keep Rudy Gobert from rebounding. Nobody. The only person you needed to do that was putting Jackson Hayes on the floor, and he didn't do that. But that was Game 5.
I remember Johnny. I mean, to B. Lee's point though. I mean, I don't know to the magnitude that B. Lee's saying for the series, but I mean they were out rebounding them like pretty comfortably, like before Game 5. Like, it was like 5 to 6 rebounds that they were getting off of the boards. That it was just simply they had bigger players that were attacking the boards,
especially in those fourth quarters.
So I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm not saying that they blew them out of the water, but when it gets nip and tuck like that in the closing moments, like 3 extra rebounds going my way is going to benefit me. That's extra opportunities.
No doubt. Yeah. So I'm looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves clutch points for MJ, who loves to bring it up. Your boy Anthony Edwards had 12 points total in 3 games, so that's about 4 points per clutch moments or clutch per game, whatever. He shot 60% from the field. Naz Reid had 9 points. He shot 75% from the field. Julius Randle scored 4 points in clutch moments. These are all within 2 to 3 games. He was 2 for 2 from the field. So in total, the whole entire Minnesota Timberwolves team played great in the fourth quarter, especially in clutch moments versus the Lakers as a team.
There you go. That's why we lost.
Well, no, because again, if we go to the Lakers around that same moment and around that same time, we'll show you why the Lakers lost. Again, we can give credit to the Minnesota defense, or we can say the Lakers offense choked.
They missed some layups.
If we look at the Lakers in clutch time during these same games, Austin Reeves scored 3 points. He was 1 of 4 from the field. Dorian Finney-Smith only had 3 points. He only took 1 shot. LeBron James was 1 of 4 from the field during the same span, only had 3 points. Hachimura only had 3 points, 1 or 2 from the field. Luka Doncic had 2 points, 1 of 5 from the field. So obviously the Lakers offense was putrid during these moments as well. So it's not necessarily their defense. It's also their offense. When you're not scoring, that's the point. The Lakers is not scoring in crucial moments. Even in the fourth quarter, if we go to what the Lakers did in the fourth quarter, LeBron James had the most fourth quarter points for the Lakers. He had the most points. He had 26 points in the fourth quarter. He played the most minutes in the fourth quarter. But they all shot bad. LeBron was 9 of 27 in the fourth quarter. Luka was 6 of 20 in the fourth quarter. Austin Reeves was 5 of 15 in the fourth quarter.
Turnovers too.
Well, you talking about in the first 2 games, though?
No, I'm talking about the entire series, not just the entire series within it.
I'm going by the last 3 games.
But it doesn't matter. They lost all the games off the same scenario. They didn't play well.
In the last 3 games, LeBron had 0 points. Luka, the 4th game, Luka and LeBron 0 points, and then they finally scored 3 points in the. Come on, man, that's horrible.
MJ, listen to what I'm telling you. LeBron James outscored every Laker in the fourth quarter. Why are you only talking about LeBron James?
No, I'm just saying he's the GOAT. They need to go.
What does that have to do with anything?
I mean, he took the most shots, so he should outscore everybody.
I
got what you're saying. Okay, yes.
wait.
Pay attention. Pay attention. Luka shot worse than LeBron.
He
Luka
did.
shot.
Who took more shots though?
LeBron did take more shots. He took 27.
So
Luka took 20. But he still scored. Nobody else
scored.
No, but you trying to say he scored?
No, but I'm trying to tell you is that no one else was able to score as well.
I know.
I know it's not. No, you don't know because you don't know that
Yes,
Austin Reeves. No, Austin Reeves shot 33%. That has nothing to do with LeBron James.
No, but I'm saying, family.
Hachimura going 27% has nothing to do with LeBron James.
I never seen you. Now you my boy.
Dorian Finney-Smith going 1 of 8 has nothing to do with LeBron James.
I know that.
But going 1 of 4 has nothing to do with LeBron James. The entire Laker offense was bad in the fourth quarter, which was predicated on Luka Doncic being the guy finishing the game.
LeBron James is settling a lot in the fourth quarters for real. That's really what it was. If he ain't settled as much,
he was tired. He was
not settling. He was not settling because he was blocking shots.
His leg was gone.
Playing
But
defense.
look,
He was setting up plays.
Offense, he was settling. He wasn't.
He had the most. He had the most assists. So he's not selling. That means he's passing.
No.
Wait, he had the most rebounds. He's not selling. That means he's getting on the board.
No,
he has the most.
Ball.
Matter of fact,
he had the ball.
No, how you have the ball on a rebound? How the fuck you? Yeah, he grabbed the ball because he grabbed the rebound. Yeah.
Now you my boy. Now I never knew that you would get on your show. And you used to be a straight up guy.
Hey fellas, I'ma holla at y'all, man.
Hold up. He used to be I know you. I seen your show. You used to a straight up guy. Now on your show today, and you trying to you trying to be slick. Now I'm gonna tell you why you trying to be slick. First game, yeah, he scored the points. Second game, yeah. Now here go the key. Game 3, a goose egg. Game 4, a goose egg. Game 5, 3 points. That's not GOAT material. So you can't say he scored the most points. I'm going by every game. And you know You cannot know.
You're talking GOAT material. It's not GOAT material to not be in the playoffs at 40 and still be playing in the NBA. That's not GOAT material. It is GOAT material to be in the playoffs at 40 and put up a statistical stat number that only you did when you were in your prime 10 years or 13 years prior, or when Larry Bird did it in his prime. That's GOAT status. Now let's continue the conversation.
I know what you're saying. I know you want to. He's 40 years old, but I still can't get him out because he's the GOAT. I can't let if he y'all go. Now if my GOAT did that, y'all would turn his ass up.
Your GOAT didn't do that. That's the point. Your GOAT didn't do that. He couldn't do it.
Kobe
couldn't do it. Kobe couldn't do it. Kobe could not
do it. I'm gonna give you a reason. In that one game against the Celtics, Kobe had a bad game. Well, guess what he gave me? 17 rebounds.
LeBron gave me a trick.
When was that?
Against the Celtics in the championship game.
When?
Game 7. Go look up the stats. It was 17 or 15 rebounds.
Hey, John, you can do me a favor.
When was that?
Game 3, 4,
the Celtics and the Lakers.
Can you look at the clutch stats?
What year?
3, 4, and 5.
When
he won the last title for against the Celtics.
2010.
Okay.
Was he in year 22? Was he in year 22? So no. So Kobe couldn't do what LeBron James did. Simple as that. That's what he's saying. Like, you can't compare Kobe in his prime to LeBron James in year 22. That's what you're trying to do.
No, I'm not.
LeBron James in his prime was winning titles. So what are you talking about?
I'm gonna give him his kudos because another thing. This is what I call him. I call him he's the longevity of King. He outlasts Kareem. So I gotta give LeBron his credit. To be that old and still giving you 25 points, I can't hate.
I'm pretty sure he's your GOAT. I'm pretty sure he's your GOAT.
But he's the GOAT, man. A GOAT gotta take me home. That's all I'm saying.
He has.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has.
No. We didn't win. We in Cancun. How you gonna say
he won in 2020? You talking about Kobe winning 15, 16 years ago? You can't accept a championship you got 6 years ago?
I'm gonna give him his credit.
You over here praising Kobe for something that happened over 15 years ago, but you can't praise LeBron for something he did just 5 years ago, 6 years ago?
I'll give him credit. I'm saying the last 4 years, I know
All right,
we've
let me
been
answer
hurt,
it.
but we've been losing.
That's fine. You were losing the last 4 years with Kobe as well, in worse fashion, in way worse fashion.
Hey, I'm still here, y'all. I still got a chip for him. Okay,
and you still got a chip for what happened the last 4 years. You still got a chip for what happened the last 4 years.
For him. That's what I'm saying. But not you. Hold on, not you two, but the other haters that love LeBron, they talking shit. Oh, he need to lead the Lakers. Well, if he want to lead the Lakers, he lead. We ain't gonna cry.
Okay, let me answer this question. With 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter of Game 3, LeBron James took one shot. He missed one 3-pointer, but he had one block, scored nothing. Hachimura took 3 shots and missed it. The Lakers was 1 of 7 in that entire fourth quarter, so it had nothing to do with LeBron.
That means it was trash. We lost.
Again, LeBron James. No, again, that was called Minnesota playing good basketball, good defense.
That's what it was. So I got to give them that credit. That was Minnesota again, but the Lakers' offense was putrid. They couldn't get shots off. They couldn't get a good shot off in that end stretch. And this was when they were actually up. This was after Dorian Finney-Smith had hit that 3-pointer and they were up. So that's game 4. Yeah, that's game 4. So let's go. Now what you would have did?
That was game 3. That was
game. Wait, that was the game 3.
Yeah, that was game 3. That was game 3.
So I'm saying game 3, he had 11 in the fourth, right? At 5 minutes, why did he not take another shot?
He took one shot.
Why do you only take one?
Why?
Because at the end of the game, because at the end of the game, the ball went through Luka, and Luka found Hachimura open for 3 times. He found LeBron open for 1. He found Reeves open for another one. They all missed.
But
they
why
took
would
5
LeBron,
shots.
with his championship experience, to say like, "Hey, I think this is a crucial game. I should put the ball in my hands"?
Why should he do that for you? To already say he's the coach. Why you don't think he went to Luka? Why should he do that? There's a coach. There's a strategy. Why? That's what I'm saying. He has Luka.
Yeah, he has a veteran status, bro. He's LeBron James.
So does Luka. Luka's been to the finals.
LeBron,
Luka's been in the league for 7 years. Luka's been in the league for 7 years.
They already
see that what I'm saying? Y'all making excuses.
Hold on. Y'all listen. No, it's not heavy. Where's the crown? Again, yes, when you're the GOAT, when you're LeBron, it wasn't this heavy for. It wasn't this heavy for Michael, and it was definitely not heavy for Kobe. So you're making it heavy for LeBron. You're saying it's heavy for him because
I want you to take the shots. That's all we saying. I want you to take more shots.
What? Because then when he does take the shots and miss, you say he sucks. He's playing team basketball. If Hachimura is the one that's open and Hachimura doesn't make it, that's why they lose. Hachimura makes those shots, then LeBron James could take advantage more. But that's why Hachimura is the one who's taking the most shots because they're playing defense. They're giving
you cold-blooded.
Here we go. Game 4. Here we go. Game 4. The Lakers, the last 5 minutes of the game. In game 4, LeBron James goes 0 for 2 in this game. But he does have an assist. He has 2 blocks in this particular moment, and he had that one terrible turnover. I believe it was his only turnover of the whole entire game. If I'm
at the worst time,
it was at a bad, but it wasn't. Again, it was a bad play in general because first of all, the Lakers couldn't get the ball over half court within 8 seconds. It was only 1 second left. It was only 1 second left to go before they had to get the ball over the court. So LeBron James had to make a very difficult pass, and they made a good job getting that steal. But the Lakers themselves didn't play well. Hachimura was 1 of 1. He's made 1 3-pointer. Austin Reeves was 1 of 3. Luka was 0 of 2. Dorian Finney-Smith was 1 of 1. In total, the Lakers were 3 of 9 in this clutch time and 3 for 7 from the 3-point land.
That's not bad.
That's bad.
We choking. All the players choking.
They scored 9. They scored 9 points in a 5-minute stretch, ladies and gentlemen. That's bad basketball. That's not good basketball.
Now I'm gonna give you credit. I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna give you credit again. You reasonable. If you was one of the other LeBron James fans, we'll probably be cussing you out.
But MJ.
Here we go. I'm going to game 5. Go ahead, Herm. I'm going to game 5. Go ahead, Herm.
Yeah. I think the problem is, though, I think it was just some unfair expectations that was put upon the Lakers. Though. I think a lot of people had these high expectations on this team that they shouldn't have had. End of the day, if you understand basketball,
you just got beat.
They had too many holes to make a deep run this year. Can they make some adjustments to the roster probably in the offseason? You would hope so. But they just didn't have it to me to make a deep run in this particular postseason with the route that they had to take to get to the finals or get to the conference finals. It's going to be too much for them. That's just the honest God's truth. They was gonna go against a great coach. Those great coaches were gonna make their adjustments. They was gonna be able to schematically be able to match anything that the Lakers was gonna throw at them. And I just think it was unfair to place that team with those high expectations. To me, that just honestly how I feel about it.
Herm, you make
I
good point.
agree.
And my boy, I gotta give y'all credit because you right. I was in that locker room, and you right. He's a LeBron James fan, and he was talking. He the one started. He put up that Kobe and LeBron thing, and y'all go. And me and him was going at it because I said, "Why you bringing up Kobe? He's dead, man. This ain't got nothing to do with Kobe. Why you do that?" And it was a bait. I called him Stephen A. Smith. I said, "You Stephen A. Smith of Power Cat. I'll tear his ass up."
He's a Jewish pro of YouTube, of the LeBron fan base. But again, here we go. Game 5, the last 5 minutes of the ball games. The Lakers got outscored by, this time only by 4 points. But LeBron was 2 of 4 from the field. He was 1 of 3 from the three-point land. He had a clutch assist. He didn't have any turnovers. He scored 5 points. So, we would just want to bring everybody else. Hachimura was 1 of 1. Austin Reeves was 0 of 1. Luka was 0 of 2. Gabe Vincent was 0 of 1. The Lakers were 3 of 9. Again, in the clutch moment of a crucial playoff game, Game 5, they played horribly as a team, 2 of 6 from the three-point land. So, in total, LeBron James was 2 of 7, 1 of 5 from the three-point land, and had a couple of clutch assists, a couple of blocks, and a couple of steals, and I believe a couple of turnovers in this clutch playoffs. He was basically the best player for the Lakers in the clutch moments. So that's why if you have a 40-year-old as your clutch player, as the best player in the playoffs, yeah, you should lose the playoff game. You guys are right.
Hey, bro, you calm me down because them guys had me. I got to give you credit. Like I said, you got me calm. I can't complain no more. The way you just broke it down, I know you LeBron James fan, but you broke it down the right way because you know us Kobe fans going to go off if you just start talking smack. I got to give you credit, brother.
That's why I'm starting to notice that there's 3 Laker fan bases. There's the real Laker fans who've been watching the Lakers since before Magic. There's the Laker fans who watch the Lakers only because they saw Kobe play. And now there are Laker fans that are only Laker fans because LeBron's been on the team for the last 6-7 years. Those 3 fan bases are completely 3 different individuals. They all have their own philosophy about how the Lakers are as a franchise in general and in basketball in general. The most loudest ones are the Kobe Bryant fans because they think they are the ultimate Laker fans. And they're just upset that LeBron fans have taken over their space as Laker fans and they no longer want us there. So I don't know what to tell y'all.
I'm glad he's there because he helped my team win, and I ain't gonna hate. But only time I go off, if I could talk to somebody like you, it's good conversation. But if I get one of them LeBron James fans, they just go, oh no, and they blame everybody. That's when I go off. So kudos to you, brother. Good job.
We don't do that over here. We ain't interested in blaming. It's a team game. The team wins and the team loses. Let's let Mingo Jester in. Mingo Jester is a Kobe guy. We all know that. What up, Mingo Jester? What you got for us today, brother?
Man, I don't even know it. I've been sitting here listening to y'all. First of all, what the conversation is even about. Like, y'all all over the place. I don't even know what. First of all, y'all talking about the series, then y'all go to talking about Kobe, then y'all throw MJ in there some kind of way, and
this is
all over the place. What are we talking about?
This is a typical Lakers lost the playoffs end of the year's stream. All kind of hypotheticals, angry people blaming the wrong people, everywhere, all over the place. You know, they got to blame LeBron, then they got to blame Anthony Davis, then they got to blame Luka.
Oh, how could you blame Anthony Davis? You ain't even on the team.
Well, no, but they're basically saying that they would have did better with Anthony Davis. So the fact that there is no Anthony, they're not blaming him, but not having him hurt the Lakers. Basically, they're saying that the Lakers would have been better offensively and defensively with Anthony Davis.
But I heard what you said too when you said that the Lakers would have missed the playoffs if Anthony Davis was still on the team. But you're forgetting that the Lakers was the 5th seed before they got Luka. You do know that, right?
Yeah, and Anthony Davis got hurt.
Yeah, he did.
Anthony got hurt.
Yeah.
He did.
He would have been hurt on the Lakers as well, and they wouldn't have made the playoffs with him. Without him, with just LeBron and Austin Reeves and Hachimura and Gabe Vincent and Bronny James, that's how you gonna make the third seed and win 50 games?
But you also got to understand, Luka came in hurt too.
No, I got that, but Luka played 28 games. I don't think Anthony Davis finished the season playing 28 games. I think he played like what 4 games after he got traded, the max.
Yeah,
but
so he's not. The Lakers wouldn't have had Anthony Davis. That's my point, because he got hurt with the Lakers. He came back, rushed it, and got hurt again. Then came back again trying to rush it and got hurt again.
He only came back to rush it because of Luka was killing with the Lakers, so he tried to force his way back and got hurt.
He should be killing with the Lakers. He's Luka Doncic. That's why.
Was Luka actually killing with the Lakers, or y'all? That's just what y'all was saying.
They were at one point. They got all the way to the third seed. That's what I'm saying.
They were the third seed.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, they look great.
They got all the way to the third seed and got gentlemen swept in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's true. They did
in the first round. At that, not the second and third round. The first round.
The first round. Pitiful.
I
Exactly.
mean,
Just like last year.
The West wasn't that bad this year, though.
So
that's
what's like
this year.
Do y'all call this a victory because they won a lot of regular season games, or is that just something that happens when y'all analyze the game?
As a LeBron fan, I'm happy. As a Laker fan, you tell me, are you happy about what the Lakers did this year? Or are you?
I mean, I'm not a Lakers fan, but at the same time, but if I was a Lakers fan, I wouldn't be happy about what happened. You got the third seed in the regular season, but getting put out in the first round in 5 games.
That's an L. We got an L.
Man, I'm happy what happened, man.
In my opinion, I think it's embarrassing, to be honest.
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
It really I know that you and Johnny in locker room have beef, but he is right on some things to a degree. The Lakers roster construction has been terrible, as I closely have been observing. It's just awful as hell, and it's just like it just gives kind of the and this is completely opinionated. It's not really based off facts, so this is just my opinion on observing. Like normally, I wanted to stick by facts and stats, but this is my opinion, just being a fan, and it's just like it just feels like the Lakers are not really trying to build a roster or a team based on winning. It seems more based on just popularity type of thing, and it's kind of embarrassing. I wish and it kind of answers to my question, or to the question, to the topic. It's like, I hope LeBron doesn't retire, because I feel like I don't want to see him retire to a situation where he just loses like that based on the hype surrounding him. It's like championship or bust. And so I would like to really see him win a championship with a team that's roster is constructed to try to win. And the Lakers roster is not constructed to try to win. It really, to me, it's really embarrassing for them to go out in this fashion by the Timberwolves, the same Timberwolves where people were talking about, oh, the Timberwolves may not even make the playoffs because they traded Cat. They traded Julius Randle, who freaking fails in the playoffs, who can't shoot the three, and is going to cause horrible spacing for the Timberwolves. And they freaking got blown. They kicked the Lakers' butt. They kicked their ass. It's like, what the hell? So I'm just saying, like, I really don't want to see this. I would not like to see LeBron retire.
Man, I think it's something. I think something that people got to realize too. Certain personnel that they've been looking for hasn't been available to them, honestly. So things that they need to do to improve their roster, those type of players haven't really been available for them to improve their roster.
Like who?
Like for instance, I think they need a 3-and-D guy. I think.
Dorian is the only person right now that was like that. I think he was the only one that made an impact.
But hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. But a few things
at the time.
Okay, but a few things. So you telling me? I heard Ishmael say something about the Lakers roster construction. My thing is, they had this roster when they went into the series. They was heavily favored, and they had the same roster when they went into the series, right? Am I right about it?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They still got the same roster, regardless of Luka. They got the same roster, right? And it was heavily favored to beat the Timberwolves, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
They don't have
Okay,
a
then.
roster issue.
So it can't be. So it can't be the roster. I don't want to hear nothing about the roster.
It ain't
So
the
it couldn't have
roster.
been the roster.
Well, I
Because
mean,
they still were
how
heavily
does that?
favored.
I don't
Thank
really
you.
see how because they were
Also,
favored against Minnesota. That means
bro,
it's
they was
not.
heavily favored. They weren't just favored. They was heavily favored.
It's not about just
Heavily
being favored. It's just the simple fact that they had a good team. They had a good team.
That
They didn't.
Minnesota exposed them, like seriously
Yeah,
Exposed
exposed.
our coach too.
Exposed the coach, JJ Redick. Exposed JJ Redick panicking.
And that was my next point. JJ Redick.
Yeah.
How did you play? How did you play your start? You getting like Tom Thibodeau. How do you play 4 players or 5 players 24 minutes in the second half?
He just
Ain't
panicked.
no way you can play a 40-year-old Luka Doncic, who everybody says is out of shape, and Austin Reeves and these guys 24 minutes in the second half without no type of break or nothing. Even though
just
they're
panicked.
saying that they was good and they didn't need a break, but come on, bro.
That's just
No
one
way.
game, bro. Like y'all talking about
That
one.
game they lost. That
one
game they could have used, and they could have used and won that
That's
game.
one game, bro. Talking
In the
about
playoffs, every game counts.
But you gotta,
Every game counts.
you gotta
Every game
understand.
counts in the playoffs. Just not the
Ishmael,
regular season.
you gotta understand this though, Ishmael, as well. When you make such a drastic adjustment and it doesn't work, that's more devastating than everything. Yeah, that's everything right there. Because after that, he didn't change his adjustment. He didn't even adjust to that. He just said, "Well, we're just gonna start the next game with the same lineup."
Thank you.
Like he didn't again.
He panicked.
Matter of fact, forget that they didn't have a good roster. Not he didn't utilize his roster.
Now
It's not worthy of saying he's a bad coach or worthy of saying he should be fired because he is a rookie coach. This is his first playoff series. This is his first time.
Yep.
I just believe he overthought himself, and I thought he was too stubborn to say to himself that I had the wrong idea going into.
That's why I got to get you, family.
That's it.
Your boy hired him. LeBron James hired him. Them two are too smart. When I seen they podcast, they was talking the basketball. Why he didn't tell them what to do?
I want to respond to Johnny. Okay, let me say this.
Go ahead, Ishmael. I'm listening.
not saying JJ Redick didn't do a bad job or anything. Yes, he did some dumb things. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like in combination, why I say the roster concerns, because I do believe that the defense was poorly played by the Lakers. Like it's just the logic to me that LeBron James and Luka Doncic just did not have those two did not have enough offensive personnel to be able to beat the Timberwolves. Like you're talking about LeBron and Luka, it's just like their offense was not good enough to beat the Timberwolves. It's crazy, but their defense was. That just doesn't go with me. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, it's like you're saying, and it's like I'm watching the game, and despite that, yes, you brought up the stats. Like I'm looking at Austin Reeves getting cooked. I'm looking at Austin Reeves having the ball bounce off his leg. I'm looking at Luka Doncic stinking it up. I think it was game 3 because he said he was sick. I'm looking at a lot of factors here on the defense. I'm looking at the roster, how it is. It's like, what could you do with the bench? Like Vando couldn't do anything on the offensive end. He's scared to shoot a layup, or it's like he can't do nothing.
You're
on
right.
The offensive end. Nothing.
That's why he didn't play.
And so it's like, what can you do? It's like you can't really blame the bench, right? Like people want to blame the bench. It's like, I'm just saying, it's like they are exposed heavily with this roster. And it's like
they only got Gabe on the bench who was effective.
Game 5, Connolly scored 6 points on Austin Reeves, 2 of 4 from the field. Dante DiVincenzo scored 6 points off of 2 of 5 scoring. McDaniel scored only 2 points off of free throws, no baskets. Julius Randle, while being guarded by Austin Reeves, scored 1 point and was 1 of 5 from the field. Rudy Gobert scored 2 points, 1 of 1 on Austin Reeves. Anthony Edwards, while Austin Reeves was on him, scored 2 points and was 1 of 4 from the field. And Naj Reid scored 1 point in game 5. So in total, Austin Reeves gave up more points to DiVincenzo and Connolly, although he played good defensively because they didn't score well. But either way, he didn't get cooked the way y'all keep talking about it. That's game 5. You want me to go to another game? I can do that.
No, but also now, wait a minute.
Are you saying the entire? Wait, that doesn't even make any sense. Are you saying the entire game 5? Mm-hmm. That's all they scored on Austin Reeves? Like he was locking that great. Like that's all the points they scored.
They scored 12, 14, 16, 18, 21 points of their 103 points on Austin Reeves.
1 points on Austin Reeves. Okay, I don't.
Yeah, and they shot 2, 4. They shot 7 of 20 from the field versus Austin Reeves, as all the team players in general.
Where were most of the shots at? Were they 3-pointers or something?
On 3-point shooting, the team shot 3 of 15. 3 of 12. So 25% from 3-point versus Austin. Yeah, they shot 3-pointers. Connolly was 2 of 3. DiVincenzo was 1 of 4. Randall was 0 of 2. Anthony Edwards was 0 of 2. Neil Alexander Walker was 0 of 1. This is just game 5 as Austin Reeves as the primary matchup defender, as NBA tracking stats are showing me here.
But not this other thing I agree with Johnny on.
3-pointers that was being made. A lot of 3-pointers that were being shot. I think because they were trying to disguise the defense as a man, but it was really a zone or something for Anthony Edwards. I think that's because I swear they were hitting a lot of corner threes or something, as I remember.
That was every other game other than game 5. But
I'm just bringing up game 5. Yeah, I'm just bringing up game 5. Just if you want, like I said, I can go to game.
Yeah,
I can go to another game.
Game 5 was the game that the Timberwolves was trying to lose by not making shots, but Rudy Gobert kept grabbing the rebound. And
let's go to game. Let's go to game 4.
The game was do that when the game was tied 100 in game 4.
Game 4. No, we talking about Austin Reeves.
Games. The
Austin
Lakers
Reeves
was basically tied the last 2 minutes almost. They could have won.
All right,
the last 3 games.
Austin Reeves in game 4 gave up 8 points to Jaden McDaniels on 3 of 3 shooting, and he hit 1 3-pointer on Austin Reeves. He gave up 6 points to Julius Randle on 2 of 7 shooting. He gave up 0 points to Rudy Gobert on 0 for 3 shooting. He gave up 5 points to Anthony Edwards, only 2 of 5 shooting. He gave up 2 points to DiVincenzo on 1 of 3 shooting. He gave up 5 points to Naj Reid, 2 of 2 from the field. 1 of them was a 3-pointer. Connolly had 0 points. Neil Alexander had 0 points. And Shannon was on the floor for 1 possession, and he didn't score. So in total, in game 4, Austin Reeves gave up 14, 19, 21, 26 points this game.
Do these points describe how are they tracked? I'm trying to understand how they track. Are they tracked in a way it's like they're like buckets
possessions?
In
no, as the matchup, as a defender, he is the guy who's guard on defense versus these guys. They have it here. They even have the minutes he does it, the partial possessions. So 6.8 possessions he was guarding Neil Alexander Walker, and within those 6 possessions or 7 possessions, Neil Alexander Walker got off 3 shots and scored 8
So it's
points.
like if I do a blow by on you and score, it's like, am I still guarding you? Does that count? Like I guarded you? And
That's these are all defensive matches. So as an example, his defensive time, 25% of the time, he was on Dante DiVincenzo.
Okay.
Who gave up the most points in that game? It was him.
He gave up the most points to DiVincenzo. No, he gave up the most to McDaniels that game. McDaniels gave up 8 points.
I'm talking about he gave up a total of 26 points.
Yeah, he gave up a point of 26 points.
He was the highest one in that game.
I can see. Let's look. Let's go to Luka Doncic. I would think it's Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic gave up 15, 25. Luka gave up 29 points. LeBron in game 4 gave up 14 points in game 4. Who else they had? Dorian Finney-Smith played a lot of time. Dorian Finney-Smith gave up 9 points. Let's go to
game 5. You're saying so, Luka.
No, this is game 4. This is game 4. We went to game 4. In game 4, Hachimura gave up 17, 23, 27 points. So Hachimura gave up some points.
So all 3 players gave up the most points. That's why we lost.
Yeah, Austin Reeves gave up 25, Hachimura gave up 27, and then Luka gave up 29. Let's go to Jared Vanderbilt, who didn't play that much. Vanderbilt gave up no points, but he didn't play that much, so he didn't affect it that much.
That sounds like Austin is getting cooked.
Well, also no. I mean, no. Yeah, if he gave up 26 points out of the 116 points they scored this game.
Pretty sure
that,
he gave up
it
more
was
points
Luka
than he
one,
scored.
Rui was second, and Reeves was 3.
Reeves was 3. Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, I
Pretty
said
sure
Austin Reeves and
Austin
Luka,
Reeves gave up
but
more points than he scored, but
yeah, that
No,
sounds like
I'm not gonna lie. Austin Reeves did not have a good series. This was probably his
that
worst
sound like
series of his career, for sure.
yeah, you can't
But
give
again,
up 30 points on 15.
I don't. Again, I didn't expect Austin Reeves to be good defensively, but I did expect him to be better offensively. Though you're right, Brent. I do expect him to be better on the offensive side.
How many did Rui score that
It's
game?
not as bad. Like I'll be real, it's not as bad. He's still getting cooked, but it's not as bad as you bring.
Rui scored 23 in Game 4. He played good in Game 4 actually. So Rui didn't play that. I mean, Rui's plus minus percent is bad.
Rui played good.
Rui scored 23.
Yeah, I think in Game 4
when,
he scored 23. He did. Yeah.
when you have almost
so it
two
was a 4
players
points
giving
difference.
up half the points, it's kind of hard to overcome. You got two players giving up half the points every game, so that's why it looked.
Especially when they're not playing good. Yeah,
especially when it's Reed. So back to back, all you see is two players making everyone else work hard. Like that's how it looked.
How
Not
many
that
did
he was giving up 50 points per game, but it just made everybody else work even
Like
harder.
if we go to Julius Randle, right? When Julius Randle was guarding Luka Doncic in this series or in this particular game, Luka Doncic scored 17 points. He was 5 of 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from the 3-point line. So Julius Randle, he could not stick Luka. On LeBron, he gave up 4 points on LeBron.
I think,
and he gave up 2 points on Rui Hachimura. So in this game, Randle gave up 23 points. Let's go to Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards gave up 9 points to Austin Reeves. Then he gave up 3, 3, and 3. So that's 18. He gave up 20 points in this game, but he only gave up 2 points to Luka Doncic. But he only guarded Luka Doncic a minimum of the time. The guy he guarded the most was Austin Reeves, and Austin Reeves was 3 of 8 for the field for 9 points. He only hit. It was all 3-pointers for Austin Reeves. Let's go to Jaden McDaniels. Again, we're doing Game 5 matchups here, guys. Jaden McDaniels had Luka score 13 points of him, but it was 5 of 12 from the field. But he also gave up 5 points to LeBron, 4 to Hachimura, and 3 to DFS. So in total, he gave up 26 points.
Damn.
Exactly. So
who would you say?
So I told you who was choking in the last 3 minutes. Who was losing the game in the last 2 or 3 minutes?
These are the guys that are playing the guys who are getting the most minutes. Like you guys, like you said, they were hunting Reeves, they were hunting Luka. Right, whenever you had the ball and those are the guys on you, we say go score on them, and it's the same thing. You're going to put Jaden McDaniel and these guys on your best on the best offensive player, so they're going to get scored on because they can't. It's not like they can stop Luka or stop LeBron. They're going to hope to slow him down.
So look at this, what you saying? If we had a center that gave us 10 and 10 in each of those last 3 games, we win the series.
And you could have got that from fucking Jackson Hayes. That's the point. Yes, Jackson Hayes could have gave you easily 9 and 7.
3 games. It was a 1 possession game or tie. Like the Lakers could have won all 3 of the last games.
And in game 4, and in game 4, Naj Reid gave up 7 points to Luka Doncic on 3 of 6 shooting. He gave up 4 points to LeBron, and he gave up 3 points to Hachimura. So in total, he only gave up 14 points in game 4. If you guys want any of this information, all this is available on NBA.com.
Hey, John, I thought it was gonna be a 7-game series because I thought Luka and LeBron's play was gonna still, even though I feel Minnesota had advantages, I still thought their play was gonna be able to win them more games than what they won. So I thought it was gonna be a tighter series because I knew it was gonna be close. Like games were gonna be decided in the 4th quarters, and I was like, well, Luka and LeBron, they good to get you a few games. You know what I'm saying? So I thought I was gonna go a little differently. I still picked you saw that I picked Minnesota at 7, but end of the day, Minnesota, they capitalized better than the Lakers. They capitalized better in 4th quarter, and ultimately you got the results that you got. And honestly, the role players could have played a little bit better, but you got to give Minnesota credit for making it a little tough on them. So Lakers, they just got to go back to the drawing board. They got to figure out what they need to put around LeBron and Luka if they run in the back with those two. And straight up, honestly, they got to get more size. They got to get more 3-and-D guys, and they got to change their philosophies. So sometimes, when you coaching, sometimes you gotta realize like, hey, it's just certain things we're not gonna be able to do, but this what I can do to make the game a little more uglier, make it a little more scrappy, a little more tougher. You could have played the Vanderbilts and them. Yes, offensively you would have suffered, but I think you would have played those effort guys and played guys with high energy. They could have made it an ugly, tough series to the point where it could have went either way. And when you got guys like Luka and LeBron, hey, you could take that type of chance. To play. Let me play three defensive guys, high energy guys, and let's just see
Yes,
what the hell happens.
that's what
And
I was thinking.
that's what JJ could have done.
Yeah,
I think Vando should have played about 25 minutes a game. You got to play a guy with high energy, a guy that can play lockdown defense, a guy that can rebound. But hey, that's why I told you, hey, Johnny, the playoffs were gonna be a little more different for teams to actually have a game plan. So.
But I don't think Vando would have made a difference though
You
in
know
this
what? No,
series.
you know what? No, I mean, you should have played him. We would have known they would have kept playing. They didn't even play him enough. They didn't even put him on the court. You know, but
It
I'm
just
looking.
because
But
he
I'm
would have
looking
made
at
a difference.
I'm looking at the game chart here, and what Brandon was talking about with Ralph is kind of interesting because the Lakers was horrible in the paint.
horrible.
As a team in the paint, the Lakers shot 25 of 66. That's 37.9% as a team.
Missing layups.
That's bad compared to what the Minnesota Timberwolves. They shot 46 of 89. So not only did they take more, they made almost twice as much, but they shot at 51.7% and the paint. But when they shot at the basket, they were worse than the Lakers. The Lakers were better at the basket, but they did get a lot of more shots at the basket than the Lakers. They had 134 shots at the baskets. The Lakers had only 92. But they made 79. The Lakers made 62. The Lakers shot 67% at the basket, while the Timberwolves shot 59% at the basket. But they did have a lot more. So they were able to get to they were able to get to the paint more than the Lakers were able to get to the paint. So which is possible because again the Lakers perimeter defense is not as good as the Minnesota perimeter defense. But the Lakers still defended the rim well. Once you got there, you were missing, unless y'all just want to say they were missing. But that's the same thing, too. The Lakers got to the paint, but the Lakers were just missing in the paint. The Lakers make some of those shots in the paint. And there was a couple of those runners that I saw Luka miss a couple of times. And I was like, yo, Luka looks off. Like, why is he missing those easy? Like, he was missing 10-footers and 8-footers, like, right at the, you know what I'm saying? Like, right at the dotted line, like, right on the baseline. I was like, yo, how are you missing these, bro? Like, what's
And
going
you remember when we was up by 2 and we got the ball to him? He threw the guy off. And he missed that layup.
Yeah.
And then that's when we lost.
Yeah, and then he went down and let Naj Reid hit the 3-pointer. Playing bad defense. Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff. They remember even in that game too. Remember they were up 10 points going about to end the first quarter. Luka missed a wide open layup.
Yes.
And somehow they went on like an 8-4 run.
Yeah.
And they ended up being down by only 4 instead of being down by like 10 or 12.
Yeah. I'm like, man, unbelievable. I'm like, you can't make this up.
And that's my thing. None of us could have called this. No one could have called that the Lakers played this bad. I get what Herm was saying, and I agree with Herm that during the regular season you started to see it because the Lakers got hot very early with the team. They got through that little injury spell, but after the injury spell, when those guys started coming back, you started to notice that
they started playing inconsistent.
Yeah, you started to notice the teams wasn't letting Jackson Hayes get those lobs like he was getting early on.
Wasn't.
Got there. They wasn't letting the Lakers throw those full court passes and letting LeBron James cherry pick. They were stopping those cherry pick plays by LeBron and Luka as well. They were stopping those type of things. So teams did do some adjustments. I agree with Herm there, but like I said, what the Lakers did in the playoffs, none of us could predict. Bro, we did not expect it to do any of that stuff.
I warned you about it when the Bulls was carving them up.
No, I told you though, but when did I tell you that? But didn't I tell you that was the way to beat the Lakers was speeding the pace up, was getting ahead of their defense, which is what Minnesota did as well. Minnesota was pushing the tempo in this game, and the Lakers couldn't slow it down. The Lakers wouldn't slow it down for some reason. I don't know. I mean, again, they don't really have anybody to do it. The only guy that they can use to play full court defense is Hachimura and Vando, and they didn't play Vando. And then Hachimura got his ankles broke game 1. I think when JJ Redick saw that, he was like, okay, I'm not even going to put him on Anthony Edwards because he damn near broke Hachimura's ankles in game 1.
Yeah, he embarrassed him. I mean, everyone got embarrassed in game 1, though. They shot the lights out.
No, but that was embarrassing. He literally broke it. That was the definition of broken ankle. You see the ankle twist. You seen everything. Like, it literally happened to him that way. Like, he literally broke his ankles. That was nasty.
He had to go top his shoes.
Yeah, he did. He had to go,
but you remember?
He had to go tighten up his shoes. Exactly.
I remember the first quarter. But you got to get the white boy credit. He was cooking them. And we had that 7-point lead. And then when they took Luka out, and LeBron James and Reeves, like clank, 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 clank. I'm like, oh my God.
But he still should have gave what's the name a chance. I mean, yeah, you got on the other side, they got Nas Lee, Julius Randle, and Rudy Gobert. They should have at least gave Jackson Hayes a chance. I do agree with A. Johnny on that, though. They should have at least gave him a. I mean, what could it have hurt? It would have.
You know what?
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. Especially when like especially if y'all telling me what y'all think, that the Lakers defense was the issue. So at the end of the day, you still need someone that could, even if he's fouling, at least he's contesting. He's making it difficult. It wasn't like Minnesota was shooting great from the free throw line. They weren't hitting their free throws. I think they shot like less than 70% from the free throw line, or low 70s. So they were playing horrible. You were giving Vando 16 minutes per game, you dropped that down to 12. You were giving Gabe Vincent 21 minutes, you dropped that down to 19. You was giving Jackson Hayes 19 minutes, and you dropped that down to 7. Who else are you going to play? You're not going to play Dalton Connect. He was giving Jordan Goodwin 18, 19 minutes in the regular season, but he didn't give him that minutes neither. You're not going to play Milton. You're not going to play Alex Lynn. You're not going to play Jemison. You're not going to play Bronny. So, like, you're only going to go, 8, 9 deep max? So you had no choice but to give those guys their minutes. You had to let Jackson Hayes, Bando, and Gabe Vincent get some time. You just had to. You had to.
And you know what he messed up at? He should have never put Alex Lynn on the team, man.
I think they just did that to fill a roster spot, though. I think they just
that was stupid. That's dumb.
What about Kolokolo? What happened to him? Why didn't they give him a shot? I thought he was.
Koloko. They didn't want to play him.
I don't get it.
Maybe Land is terrible. Land is terrible. They just needed to fill a spot.
Yeah, you're not in a position to be like Thibodeau and say, I'm only going to play certain guys. You don't have that position, bro. You have to play everybody you got. You got to play everybody.
They're going to add guys like a Valanciunas. I think that would be available for free agency. They're going to do different things like that to try to fill up the roster. I think Valanciunas would have been a great addition to the Lakers roster. They could have got a hold of him, but it just certain things they're going to have to do just to compete on the high.
You know what hurt them?
But they can't afford a Valanciunas, right? Isn't Valanciunas?
When Woods could never get back right, that hurt.
He'll probably go for the veteran minimum if he wants to compete and have opportunity to make a deep postseason run. I think he could take it.
Is the Lakers worth taking a pay cut for the opportunity to win the championship? That's the point. Like,
them dudes ain't taking pay cuts no more.
They put together, man.
Exactly.
He might want
didn't y'all say Bronny James got real good defense? They should have put him in there.
Nah,
Bronny
James is Bronny James.
Maybe he would slow somebody down.
Yeah, if Bronny James doesn't show any kind of progress this year, coming up for this next season, it's going to be a wrap for him. He's not going to be able to really, because they're not going to be too patient with him. So he's going to have to show some progress so that he can get the minutes he wants in year 3. Because if he doesn't do it in year 2, they're not going to give it to him in year 3. So it's going to be more likely he's going to be gone by year 4. So. But yeah, again, the Lakers. I thought they had a good enough team to win it this year. I thought
we were gonna win it.
I think Jackson Hayes maybe needs to gain some weight, maybe something like that.
I don't know.
I mean, Jackson Hayes
he has a bad attitude. That's why JJ don't play him. Every time he gets a foul, he complains nonstop, and JJ don't want to hear it no more, so he don't play him.
Yeah, I think JJ
attitude.
Yeah, I think I call him Sideshow Bob. He looked like Sideshow Bob, and I think he doesn't have the intelligence to play the way JJ Redick wants him to play. He does make a lot of silly mistakes, but like I said, in the sense of him only playing 15 minutes, because I wouldn't even want him to play 19 minutes. Just play him to 15, 16 minutes.
He's just not. I've been saying it the whole year. He's not a smart defender.
No,
he's not a smart defender. He's constantly fouling, and he complains every minute of the game. I've been telling you this since the beginning, and it's obvious. Like, he's not playable because of his attitude.
No, I got you. If I'm correct, let me go to this game. If I'm correct, in game 3, he played 5 minutes or 6 minutes and had
3 fouls, 4 fouls.
I think he had 5 fouls in this game. Hold on, let me double check that.
Oh, that was horrible.
No, yeah, I think he had 5 fouls in this game. Let me go double check that. If I'm
so
correct,
goofy.
Yeah, let me see. Jackson Hayes. Okay, no, it wasn't this game. It was one of the games where I was like, yo, this man didn't even play that much, and he had this much fouls. Like, that was crazy. I forgot what game it was. and I was like, damn. I think it was game 2, to be honest with you. I think it was game 2 if I'm correct, but. Yeah, he does make a lot of stupid stuff. That's why he only plays the 15, 20 minutes that he was supposed to get. And I think again, if they would have gave him just that, it would have helped him out on offense. It would have put Rudy Gobert on the floor more, which would have forced the Timberwolves to play bad on offense, help the Lakers on defense. It was 3 fouls in no, yeah, it was game 2. He played 9 minutes. He had 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 block, and 5 personal fouls.
But what the Lakers really was trying to do, though. But what the Lakers really was trying to do, they were trying to go small, so that would have made Rudy Gobert unplayable. That's what they was trying to do. But
that's what they were trying to do.
Rudy Gobert just overcame that and just kept on playing.
Because they thought LeBron and Luka could get to the paint, and since they wouldn't have no rim protector, they would be able to finish well. But in reality, LeBron and James, they got to the paint and they didn't finish as well.
Like I said, they don't have the personnel to be playing small ball defense. Like, you got 2 guys that are not athletic on your backcourt. You're not point of attack defenders at all. Like, that's
not for 30 minutes. Not for 30, 35 minutes, 40 minutes.
The Timberwolves are better playing small ball than the Lakers.
That's true. That is true.
I'm not saying you can't play like a 15-minute, maybe 20, but you're talking about the entire game, like your backcourt.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they never went with the lineup of Gabe Vincent, Vando, LeBron, Ruri, and DFS on the floor at the same time, just to have a good, solid defensive team. Especially when you were up 10 points in game 4, going in the fourth quarter. That's when you bring in your defensive lineup.
Or just any time in the game.
As a defensive lineup, just a spend points of the game. Especially, like I said, in game 4, when the Lakers had the 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter, you bring that lineup in. He already told them that he had 2 extra timeouts. So if worst case scenario, that lineup didn't hold defensively, and they definitely, because we know they're not going to be able to score as great. If they didn't hold defensively, you could always call a timeout and bring in the lineup that you feel was better. But at least you bring those guys in, you have some solid defense, and you can hold the lead for a little bit longer, and you can give Luka some rest and some other guys some rest. That way, when you bring Luka back on the floor, you could have gave LeBron a little bit of a rest.
Thank you.
But he didn't do that. He went straight panic mode. He said, I'm going to close it out. We're up 10, and if I keep these same 5 guys on the floor, there's no way we're going to lose this 10-point lead. That's how he was playing, to not lose the lead, not how to keep the lead. And that was the problem.
Goofy ass.
Yeah.
So he get an F. He get an F.
Hey, B-Lee, we tried to warn everybody.
He said we tried around. He looks.
He acting like he's.
You know what, Billy? That is your boy. Herm is your boy. You did say Herm is your boy.
Herm's my guy. Herm's my guy.
I'm telling you, we didn't want y'all to hang y'all heads down. You know what I'm saying? So we trying to give y'all realistic expectations instead of going into it with the parade on Crenshaw's. You know what I'm saying?
We ain't got no parade. We got tears on Crenshaw.
Tears on Crenshaw.
I don't care. I was proud to be one of the one and only guys who were rooting for the Lakers and GOAT James, that was out here finding ways to say that the Lakers could win.
Think B-Lee was it though? You don't think
B-Lee gave up? B-Lee gave up when we had Anthony Davis traded away. He gave up then. He said it's next year. He said that. He said it, man. They're not gonna win it this year. He gave up. I was the only one giving hope.
They will be better next year, not this year. But we still sweep everybody. I hope they will sweep everybody. But it didn't happen.
That's what I'm saying. But I was the only one. Willing to say this. I was the only one to say parade on Crenshaw. So y'all gotta let me go ahead and say it. I was the only one.
I'm the only true silverback gorilla up in this park, man. Y'all just some soft brown gorillas, man. Look at your soft arms, man. You see these brolic arms, man. Back up off me, man. You know what it is. See, I'm the only gorilla with an emotion. See, I'm the only gorilla.
I'm the only gorilla, Randy.
Playing the NFL on any given team on any given Sunday. Me.
Sunday.
See, I'm the only one that can play with this robe and look brolic while doing it. Get your soft body to hell out of here, man. I said what I said. You heard me. Back up. See, I'm the one that can stiffen his teeth while simultaneously baby.
That nigga right.
You definitely shouldn't tell everybody you was wrong for months. I'm just saying, you shouldn't tell everybody you're wrong for months. You should kept that to yourself.
Yeah,
I was right. Damn it, the Lakers should have won it, man. God, can you imagine how crazy I would have went? You know how crazy I would have went when the Lakers would have won the championship this year? Oh, it would have been so great.
No, hey,
we almost rooting for the Lakers to win.
I bet $100, family.
Yo, boy.
Hey, I lost $100 to the locker room. I paid him. He got me.
I ain't gonna lie. I lost $100 to Ace 30. I had to pay him the $100. Shout out to Ace 30. But he picked the field or the Lakers, and it was very easy to pick the field. As we all see, the Lakers didn't.
I said we was gonna make it to the finals, and I got beat.
No,
Gave him
but we
$100.
got to be real though. Like just to be honest, like mid-season trade, blockbuster trades like that. Most of the times lately, it's been like this lately that teams don't win right away. They don't win right away. They gotta wait till the following year to actually build some continuity, to know what direction they're going into. So it's only so much JJ Redick as a coach to do for us. This is gonna be our offensive philosophy and defensive philosophies, and they had to stick to that. So, like I said, it was kind of easy for teams to make their adjustments because JJ Redick couldn't draw up more offensive different looks for them to run because it's hard to teach that in a short amount of time. That late in the year, you're not practicing a lot, you're not doing too much, so you gotta do quick fix shit. So it was kind of hard. It was kind of hard from a coach's standpoint and for a player's standpoint to build all that continuity, to be able to run different offensive sets like they could have done, because you could have honestly had Luka play out ball, had Luka work in the post at times to try to use his size to overpower McDaniels if he was on him. It's hard to implement all those things. It's hard.
I mean, to be honest with you, the Lakers had a chance to win a title this year. JJ just didn't know how to manage the roster in the playoffs. Simple as that. You cannot play LeBron James 40-plus minutes. He should not be getting over 32 minutes a game. He just should not. If you can't trust LeBron, your team, to not have LeBron on the floor for that much, you're not going to win.
We're going to lose.
LeBron would have been fresh in the fourth quarter if he came into that quarter playing the appropriate amount of minutes.
Let's be real, y'all. We only see one team that has gotten away with that, and that's the Denver Nuggets, for us getting away with playing their stars 40-plus minutes a game. You know what I'm saying? Denver is really the only team that get away with that.
And the Knicks, really.
Yeah, but shit,
Denver make it to the finals. That's gonna be embarrassing.
No, but hold on. But there was only one team though, Herm, that did win a championship with a mid-season blockbuster trade. That was the '89 Pistons, right? They traded away Adrian Dantley for McGuire.
And then the Rockets. The Rockets with Clyde Drexler.
Yeah, Clyde.
Didn't they trade Clyde Drexler in the mid-season? That was mid-season, or I thought that was off-season.
Mid-season. That was mid-season.
They traded for Clyde Drexler in the middle of '95.
Yeah, it was mid-season.
I didn't know that.
It was mid-season.
But you had Akeem Olajuwon. You know you were going woo.
No, but then you had the 76ers of 2000, the 2001 76ers. They traded for Mutombo mid-season. Yeah. And then the Lakers traded for Gasol mid-season, and they made the finals. So that's not success as far as winning, but they did make the finals.
Yes.
Oh, that's true too. They traded for Rasheed Wallace in 2004 to Detroit, and they ended up making the championship and winning the championship in 2004. So that's another successful.
They beat us.
That's not really a blockbuster trade because
not really blockbuster.
Rasheed was more of a
steal though.
That's what I'm saying. It was more of a steal. It was more like
she was a beast.
Yeah, but it wasn't blockbuster. Blockbuster was like getting rid of Dantley from McGuire. You know what I'm saying? Adding a Clyde Drexler, adding a Mutombo, adding a Paul Gasol. That's kind of big. Like you said, or adding a Luka mid-season as well. So yeah, usually that LeBron talked about it as well. Usually teams don't win when you acquire such a big difference, especially when you make a lot of differences in everything. Because they did switch up a lot. The trade,
they had to change their whole philosophy. They had
to change everything that they started the season with. So, but we ready to get up out of here, man. It's been a fun show. Brandon done started a war again, but it's over, I guess. It's over.
LeBron James.
Yeah, LeBron James.
I was just right the whole time. That's all, because we saw it. I was right the whole time.
I gotta give you credit. Like I say,
like I said, B. Lee, he was right on some of this. I'm not saying Anthony Davis. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Anthony. I'm just saying the Lakers defense, bro. I gotta go with B. Lee.
I understand. Okay, I understand. It's
you understand. You understand. You don't have a choice no more.
Like I said, I'm the only one. I'm the
only true silverback gorilla up in this park, man. Y'all just some soft brown gorillas, man. Look at your soft arms, man. You see these brolic arms, man. Back up off me, man. You know what it is. See, I'm the only gorilla with an emotion. See, I'm the only gorilla up in there that look like he can play in the NFL on any given team on any given Sunday. Me. You see.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, Tony Baker is the best, man. Shout out to Tony Baker, man. That guy is completely hilarious, man. That is completely funny, man.
That's a good one right there, bro.
Oh wait a minute. What I got here? Is this what it is? Is this JJ Redick?
This is not an exaggeration. If you watch our basketball team every night, and you've watched our team now for the last 6 weeks or so, LeBron's playing at an all NBA defense level. He is. And now, you know, people may have perceptions of what he is as a defender. I watch it every night. He doesn't get scored on in isolation if teams do try to target him. He blows plays up. He's always in the right position, shifting, recovering. You know, I think there was this perception of him at this age, like conserving energy. No, there's no conservation of energy on that end of the floor. He's played elite defense now for a while.
Oh man, that was talking about LeBron's great defense. Oh man, that's when the Lakers were playing top-notch defense. When LeBron was at all NBA level, he should have played that in the playoffs.
LeBron should be all defensive, but they ain't gonna give it to him.
Yeah, they're not going to give it to him this year. No, they're not. So, but with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank all you fine gentlemen for showing up on a great Sunday afternoon to let us do the Lord's work by talking basketball like none other, because we are GOAT James Kingdom. There is nobody like us. And if you like what we're doing here in GOAT James Kingdom, don't be afraid to become a subscriber to the channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Also, check out the GOAT James Kingdom membership, where we take care of our members. It only costs $4.99 to become a member of GJK, and you can support what Brandon and I do. Also, don't forget to check us out on Playback TV, as we are available on Playback TV. So we want to tell everybody, thank you for showing up on another great Sunday afternoon, as Brandon and I continue to show you guys why GOAT James is the greatest basketball player of all time, and why no one could talk basketball like we do here in GOAT James Kingdom. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a great Sunday. Peace and blessings right here from the GOAT James Kingdom channel. If you're a basketball fan and you're tired of basketball shows that talk about fake narratives and using non-basketball terms like killer instinct, playoff translation, gravity, come to GOAT James Kingdom.
Welcome to GOAT James Kingdom, where basketball lives forever. You get to enjoy B. and A. Johnny talk basketball every Sunday noon Eastern time right here on the GOAT James Kingdom channel. Support by subscribing, and also check out the membership at GOAT James Kingdom.
Trash. LeBron Ramon James Sr., born December 30th, 1984 at approximately 4:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the greatest human being blessed among us mere mortals? 4 rings, 4 MVPs, the league scoring record, and he got more records than MJ and Kobe combined. Loving husband and devoted father of 3. Don't you ever disrespect my basketball daddy, you understand me? You know what? Log off, uninstall the game, and tell your mama to ground you, because your mouth is reckless. Go disrespect LeBron James. Oh, I cannot believe you. I hope you break your ankles next pickup game, little nigga. Lakers in 5. Baby! He disrespect LeBron again.